Hello, hello everyone, and welcome to round 9 of the GT Champions World Cup. It is I, Tatiana, aka E Dirty Tati, your host, and I'm happy to present this next race to you guys. We're at the famous Saint Croix. I believe this is called Layout B. I'll double check that. In a fantastic race car, one of the most storied GT3 race cars, the Audi R8 LMS Evo 19. Before we get further into that, though, I want to let you know that GT Champions is brought to you by Metropolis Detailing Group, RWB Racing, Hypre, who does all of our graphics, GTC TV, which is our broadcasting arm, and of course, Pride of the Dragon, which is my baby. I'll talk about Pride of the Dragon a little bit more later in this race. I am also joined in the booth by my good friend, Paul Marquardt. Paul, say hello.
Hello, everybody. Nice to be commentating. Thanks for having me, Toddy.
Yeah, of course. I pronounced your name wrong. I missed the second R. I said Paul Marquardt.
Yeah, I can't believe you
like
mispronounced my name after 5 years of friendship and you can't get my name right. That's perfect.
All right, Lord Farquaad, whatever. You mad? I mean, I don't... Okay. Marquardt, my bad. That's on me.
There you go.
Let me see. We got everybody in the lobby. The race is starting. Oh, shoot. The race should be starting now. And I did not say I was ready. Let me see. They said we're good 2 minutes after the hour. Okay, perfect. We have time. I was like, wait a minute. It's definitely 7 o'clock. Where am I? Paul, you can't see what I'm doing unless you're looking at the live stream, but I'm showing the calendar. We only have 5 rounds remaining, counting today. So really 4 rounds after today in this season. It's a 12-round season. I can't believe we're already towards the end of this. Oh, man. And what a season it has been. Let's take a look at our grid today. We have about a minute left to do that. We got Little Mac starting in first. Our Pro-Am driver is first on the grid. Matt Campbell in second. Hovercraft in third. Jay, 49 in fourth. Green in fifth. Assassin in sixth. Mobile Legends 7th, Ghost 45 in 8th, Let It Rip in 9th, Grammon in 10th, J-Rod in 11th, Ricardus in 12th, Leo in 13th, and Skywalker 14th, and Kanjak 420 in 15th. I haven't heard anything about anyone like not making the race, so I believe that we should have a full lobby, and oops, I hit the button prematurely. Sure enough, we do. We have 16 out of 16 in this lobby. That includes me. So that's 15 people in this race, Paul. It's as full as it gets. At least in Gran Turismo.
I'm happy to see Matt Campbell in second place. I didn't know Porsche Penske driver Matt Campbell doubled on Gran Turismo. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Now you know. And he's a lobby 2 driver. That's how fast we are here. He is a pro.
Yeah.
Here, but he's
Roger
not.
Penske is very. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Roger Penske, very, very generous of his time with his pro drivers.
That's right. He's got all the time in the world to do this. We're looking at assassins. Some of these names aren't always in lobby 2. We got some repeats that we missed. J-Rod, I missed seeing J-Rod up here. He's missed a couple races and I think has been in some of the lower lobbies. J-Rod is great at tire management, so we'll see what he can do as long as he can manage his fuel. Sometimes he runs into problems with that, but those tires gonna have rubber on them. Paul, we're about to start. The lights are going off. What do you have to say to the people?
Let's hope for a clean race. I'm excited to see how this goes. Obviously getting towards the end of the championship, so positions count, points count, and clean starts definitely count.
They do. I'm going to watch this from the back of the race because I want to make sure we get all through the first few corners okay with no issues here. Otherwise, I get the power to call a red flag. Sometimes I do it just on a power trip. Sometimes it's just like, nope, I don't like it. I'm joking. I don't do
godlike power then. Clean through turn 1 here looks like for the entire field.
Very nice. It is a wide turn 1 around here, but we've seen it go wrong, haven't we? Turn 2. Actually, I guess technically this is turn 3. This is where it really bottlenecks finally on the track. So let's see how they get through here. Oh, we do have one person spun around this mobile edge, but I think he's all alone. So we're going to play on. I don't see that anyone has any significant issues. I did see one car with damage, 2 cars with damage. You know what? We're going to call it. We got cars with damage. I'm going to call it significant, and we're going to let it ride. Let's get him, not let it ride, sorry. We're going to give him a second start at this. Okay,
red flag.
Yeah. I always get nervous.
Well, nothing like a mulligan for the drivers that had a rough start. That's
right?
Always appreciated.
There are always those who don't like when a red flag gets called or don't like when it doesn't get called. So, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, and hopefully this has been, I've been responsible here. Who's this still on track? I need my friend to get off so we can get this thing going again.
There we go.
Yeah.
Back on the lobby screen here. Gosh, crazy to think how many years us Gran Turismo players have been staring at that screen through all of its iterations since Gran Turismo 5 and, God, what, 2010?
Right. Ooh, we're good. So red flags may be called by the lobby host or broadcaster, that's me, aka the one with the power, for major incidents on lap 1 during the first 2 or 3 corners, aka first sector. A major incident is defined as 3 or more drivers that receive damage or are way off track, all from the same incident. Now, we saw a mobile edge spun around in the wall, guaranteed he had damage, and then I saw 2 more cars with damage. That's 3 with damage, all from turn 2. And so, really, I'm a genius. Really. All right, so the guys.
The Audi R8 is such a. Oops, sorry, Toddy.
No, you're good.
I was just saying the Audi R8 remains just one of the best-looking GT3 cars through both of its major iterations.
Absolutely, that's exactly why I'm staying right here on this angle right here where we can see the whole car. It is, and I think it's probably like low-key, mid-key, one of the more iconic ones. It is like we've had the Audi R8 GT3 for a long time.
We have, and the Audi R8 GT3 is one of those first cars that really dug into the idea of selling wide to the customer.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Start again.
Here's hoping. Clean start, guys. Clean start. You can do this. V10 roaring. Screaming? Do V10s roar or do they scream?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. They're loud. They're loud. All right, we are off and away again. Turn 1 couldn't have been better last time. I don't even think anyone had to dip a wheel in the grass. So let's see. These are really good, clean drivers. And here we are again with a nice turn 1 can jack. And it looks like Skywalker with a run on Leo through there. They're going to sandwich him in. Are they going to go too wide into turn 3? Skywalker gets up ahead. Everything looks clean ahead so far. Let's look back behind him. Leo and Kanjak getting along. Leo did lose a position in that, but I think we're good to go, Paul. I didn't even have to knock on any wood.
Yeah, clean start here. Much better than the first start. No cars with any major calamity. This is better.
Ooh, side by side. Skywalker going up the inside on Graham. Skywalker's on a run, isn't he? What We've already seen a couple of passes here by the Pro-Am driver, Skywalker, so looking good for him so far. I'm going to not focus on him. So, oh, that view, that is a nice camera angle. I like it. What's going on here? We got
Gran Turismo's replay and live broadcasts is second to none. It looks so good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. GT Sport, I think, was the first one that they put out where it looked this good, and we were like, oh, this is a game changer. This is in-game graphics, and I don't think we had anything like this before GT Sport in 2017. They're looking racy up front. I'm going to head over here. We've already got a good gap here between Little Mac and Hovercraft. And you know what? Let me hide the goods. I forgot that people can't see the tires and the tire wear and stuff like that. But if you got a glimpse, you're welcome. Little Mac is already jumped off and away. Almost 2 seconds to Hovercraft as they get on the bridge. This is the long layout of St. Croix, which, if I recall correctly, includes basically everything at St. Croix. I don't know.
I believe this is the longest variant of St. Croix. St. Croix, obviously, not obviously. Who do I think I am? Oh, southeastern part of France. And, of course, GT World finalist, twice World finalist in Gran Turismo 7 AI, Florent Pagandet, longtime Gran Turismo player. He plays AI to this circuit in menu books in the beginning of Gran Turismo 7. So clearly an important track to the franchise.
Very much so, and he'd probably be disappointed in us for not knowing this layout by heart. But it is the longest layout. Ooh, we have somebody off. Ooh, in a bottleneck. Oh, it's ugly. Any damage? Yes, damage for
squeeze.
Mobile Ledge. Also for J-Rod, both of them with the same exact damage. Front splitter, front right wheel on those cars. Man, J-Rod was running comfortably in like 9th, I believe, down to 15th for him after getting caught up with Mobile Edge. I'm going to check and see if anyone else has damage. I don't think so. I don't. Surprisingly, and I didn't see who it was, so I'm not going to say. Surprisingly, someone's out there on Racing Softs early in the stint. And they are not up front. So they're going to have to fight through with those softs, and that's gonna be challenging. Nobody else with damage besides those two in last and second to last place. That sucked.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there, but it did look like someone got squeezed up against the guardrail and the barrier. But yes, thankfully limited damage to any of the competitors today.
That's right. It looks like it might have been Mobile Edge getting a good look at Barry R, as we like to call him in the community, and then I think J-Rod just got stuck behind him. It could have been the opposite thing that happened, but unfortunately these two running together now, 16 seconds behind the pace. But it's going down very quickly. Maybe something's happening to Assassin in 13th, battling with Leo a little bit, but that gap went from like 14 to 12 seconds as we were talking, which I did not expect. Assassin is battling with Leo for 12th place. It's nice to see battles for not last this early on in the race, isn't it? But those two...
It is, and Lord knows most broadcasters don't show the battles in the back part of the pack, so this is always great.
Always. And I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to leave a gap to let you speak. I'm so used to doing this alone. All by
It's okay.
myself. All right. As you can see, I'm not that professional. Nobody sings in like Formula One broadcasts, and they should. I think they should.
Yeah, I can't say I remember David Croft, Martin Brundle, or anybody singing or breaking out into song during a Formula One race. But if Max Verstappen's testing times were anything to go off of from this week, with a over 1.5 second delta, singing might bring some of that added, value to the broadcast.
I think so, because if we're just gonna watch Max Verstappen win every race again, we need the entertainment wherever we can get it. I don't want to wait for like Drive to Survive to be entertained by Formula One. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, like if Max is just gonna be up front by 6 seconds for every race, then I need the broadcast team to step it up. All right, step it up.
I've been watching Drive to Survive. It is interesting this year. I do think it's got a little bit more insight, a little bit more nuanced storytelling than previous seasons. I've been happy with it.
You know what? And that's why I wanted to watch it, because we've had a lot of discussion lately about how, I know we're not talking about on-track action, but they're cool, they're good.
I mean, we can catch up here. I mean, RWB Little Mac well ahead now, establishing a confident lead over nearly 4 seconds over second place Hovercraft. But they are starting to string out as we move into this part of the stint.
That's right.
Little Mac is on soft tires, but 3 laps in now, and those tires are looking pretty good considering his pace.
Paul, we're not allowed to tell him that. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm whispering.
Yeah, those tires look terrible. Dear Lord, good luck with those tires.
He's definitely on racing hards. Well, which I don't even know how he got on hards. So crazy.
Between you sharing the HUD and me verbally walking it out, I guess we're 1 for 1 now.
We are 1 for 1. Little Mac going purple, by the way, in the first 2 sectors of this thing, which, I mean, now we understand why that makes sense. He is in first place, though, so if anyone else goes purple behind him, we wouldn't know because we were looking at him. Let's go on down the line, since we are going on doing kind of a recap of what's going on. Hovercraft leading Matt Campbell. They are 4.5 seconds behind Little Mac, and they're kind of separated themselves. More than a second separates them, which is a big deal around here. You want the slipstream around here, and I think it's just outside of 1.1 seconds if you are if slipstream is set to real, which is what we have it set to right here. So Matt is just barely hanging on to Hovercraft's coattails, literally, and behind him Green is just outside of Matt Campbell's slipstream at 1.3 seconds. Of course, those are really small numbers. Any slide in the corner, getting on the throttle a little bit too late or too soon or whatever, and these guys could be right back bunched up. But right now they're already starting to make space, give themselves some elbow room, at least in the top 5. Behind them, which seems to be the usual situation for Lobby 2, the middle pack usually starts squarely at 5th place. I feel like there's always a fight for 5th place in these lobbies. And sure enough, Skywalker is leading Ghost very closely. Ghost is probably not even fighting him. At this long track, Paul, if I'm Ghost, I'm chilling in the slipstream and just like, yeah, give me a tow. I'm a short shift the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuel save is obviously a consideration, seeing if he wants to undercut. But, sticking with Skywalker, he is moving his way up forward through the grid considerably.
That's right. And then behind them, Let It Rip, who usually does really well in these lobbies. He started kind of low in the running, 9th place. I guess not low, squarely mid-pack there, but he's obviously doing much better and running in 7th place. So he's picked up 2 positions in all the shuffle at the very start of this race. Only lap 3. 9 minutes in, we're still only on the 3rd lap. That's how long this track is. Seems to be about a 3-minute 10-second lap for most people. Ricardis. I love Ricardis. Always has the white and pink liveries. You don't know this, Paul, but every car needs a livery. There are livery requirements, like the placement of certain signs, GT Champions logos, their Pro-Am logo, etc. number plates, all of that is uniform, but the rest of the livery is up to the drivers and their teams. Ricardus rocking his Team BFR livery here, and I think that is in tribute to cancer, breast cancer awareness. Oh yeah, there are ribbons.
Yeah, one of the greatest features about Gran Turismo, of course, is the community building its own liveries, sharing, worthy causes, breast cancer here on screen. One of my favorite pastimes for myself on Gran Turismo was just going through the, enormous volume of wonderful, graphic artists that put liveries on the cars in the game.
Oh my gosh, right. Like, picking up good replica liveries or good completely original liveries is a good bit of the fun, and then pulling it out when you're in the lobby, there's no better feeling. I mean, obviously a better feeling would be winning, but also having a dope livery is a good feeling.
Well, of course, you and I were on lobbies just a couple days ago, and I was rocking my 911 RSR's brand new Venti Starbucks Cup livery, which went over swimmingly. It
went over like a Venti Starbucks hot latte that's 5 hours old. It was very, very much past lukewarm, but we're not here to embarrass you, Paul. We're not here to embarrass you. I just need you to not use that livery anymore.
Yeah, if it makes you feel any better, I've never raced worse since putting it on my car.
You know what? I think that was a bad racing for most of us, but you in particular, I don't think you ever saw the top 5, which is unusual for you when we're in lobbies.
Yeah, I was facing the wrong direction a number of times.
You were.
Facing the right direction, though, is our car here in 10th place, ATK.
Yep, that is Leo. The 037 is Leo upside down. He's getting past here, though. Ooh, Assassin with a dive into, I don't know what that corner is, but it is a good passing point, by the way. If you're better on the brakes there, you absolutely can demolish someone, which we just saw happen live in front of us. So Assassin up front, they're going to head towards the bridge. Yep, I kind of remember this section of the track because it's one of my worst. I have trauma here. Well, what's going on behind them? Kanjak not running alone. There's Mobile Edge making the pass. So Mobile Edge getting up through the order after ending up in last or close to last with J-Rod. Just made that pass on Kanjak onto the bridge. Sorry, camera going crazy there. Behind Kanjak, we've got Jay, who's also running that BFR livery, which I can't see right now. That same breast cancer awareness livery. J-Rod has yet to recover from falling into last place, but I don't see any damage on that car anymore, indicating that he must have pitted at some point to fix that damage, because his
that
car
would make
okay.
sense. That does track. He's 12 seconds off the next place in 14th, 48 seconds off the lead. I don't know how bad that spin was, or that incident was. I can't confidently say he pitted, but that would make sense.
You know what's interesting? I can't either, because Mobile Edge, their damage is gone too, but I'm not seeing pit in or out laps. I wonder if there might be a setting in the room wrong. We're supposed to be full damage in these rooms. Let's go find out. Why not? Let's go find out, because that would not be good. Or maybe this is some weird glitch, or we just can't see the damage for some reason. Or the laps. I don't know. What am I looking at? Damage. Where is that rule? Am I the problem?
You usually are the problem, but that's more speaking from my personal friendship with you. No, I'm kidding.
No, you're right. I usually am, but I don't see it. Oh, mechanical damage.
What are you looking?
It does say heavy. It says heavy right here. So that's weird.
Correct.
I'm not tripping. We saw that they had damage, right?
We definitely saw damage earlier during that incident up against the barrier a couple of laps ago. That I can confirm to you.
Huh. But we don't have any in or out laps for them indicating that they pitted for that damage. Now, what I can say is there's a huge difference in lap times. Mobile Edge is running 3:05, He did 308, 305, 307, which is pretty not inconsistent. I mean, it's a very long lap, so I think a couple of seconds between laps doesn't sound insane. But J-Rod is running 311s, 314, and 312. Like, the times are very inconsistent. Jack, I thought somebody had like a 317 or something like that. But these guys are several seconds apart as far as pace to Mobile Edge. So that might explain why Mobile Edge is now all the way up into 11th place after falling to second from last versus J-Rod. But it's interesting that we can't see their damage anymore because we are not crazy, Paul, normally.
No, we're not crazy, but obviously video games can and do have glitches, but the lap time does speak the truth. So we can look to there to determine how their relative performance is to the other competitors, of course.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I see ahead of them, that's Assassin and, yeah, Grammon going at it. So Assassin has ended up back there somehow, because wasn't he running with it doesn't matter, let's watch this happen. Assassin just made the pass on Grammon, by the way. Is it going to stick? Grammon's definitely got the slip here into this next corner. Assassin able to hang on to it, but heading to turn 1, is he going to be able to keep Grammon behind him? He's going to go defensive.
I'm not sure. In the slipstream, going down the inside now. Nope, back in under for the tuck.
Yep. He's going to decide not to try it here. Assassin gets to hold on to that right there. That was very interesting. It felt like Grammon had a run on him in the slip, and then as soon as he popped out, he had nothing. At least that's what it seemed like.
Well,
Sometimes
obviously with an endurance race here. Oh, I'm sorry, Toddy. Obviously with an endurance race, 16 minutes gone, 2 hours total elapsed time. For the first time, we get to say those great words. There is a long way to go.
Yes, there is. I say it a lot in these races. Because there is a long way to go. Let It Rip is running alone here in 8th place. 5.5 seconds one way, 4.5 to the other. So already in no man's land here. What are we? 6 laps into the race. 17 minutes, like you said. So very early on, but we have others who are still following each other. Ricardus also running all alone, but ahead of him, Matt Campbell and Ghost 45 are working together, I think, to try and catch Green up there in 4th place. We can just see him. Ooh, Matt with a big wiggle behind Ghost. He manages to hang on to it. He's going to lose a bit of time. He's still losing time. He gets out of slipstream range now. It's 1.3 seconds to Ghost. 1.5, but a good save by Matt. Luckily, he lives another day. Just sucks to lose your slipstream partner like that.
Absolutely. Can we go on board here for Campbell and see how his car's doing? There we go. Yep, chasing into 5th place Ghost. 1.6 seconds now. Yeah, he is dropping that slipstream, of course, the ever-important slip. But he has been driving forward for most of this stint. I would expect him to continue with that pace forward.
Yeah, same. I don't expect anything to change. I do wonder what his pace is relative to Ghost 45. Will he catch back up? Will he be able to get back under his wing? Or is this the beginning of him slipping further back away from him? That was a big slide. Also, you know, there's a little bit of the pucker factor. Sometimes it takes you some time to get back in a rhythm after you have a big scary situation like that. It didn't seem huge, but you know, these mid-engine cars sometimes get into that kind of flat slide on you, and it's very easy to overcorrect and go way wide. So far he seems to be recovering okay. It's a 1.5 second gap to Ghost. They might accordion a bit. This track is so interesting, Paul, because there are so many different elements of it. It can be very technical, it can be very straightforward, like long straight, 90-degree right, you know, execute. But then there are corners that are like, this is a late apex, this is one where, you know, you can't find the apex, it's blind. It's so varied, and so we'll see people with different speeds on different parts of the track.
Yeah, I mean, even now as we are on board along still with Campbell in 6th place, he's closed this gap back down during this conversation.
Yep.
You know, by a good 4 or 5 tenths. They are accordioning.
Lost in turn 1.
Is that a word?
I don't know if it's a word, but it is in this broadcast.
Okay, sounds good. So as they accordion, Back and forth here now through turn 3, if you want to call it 4, technically. Love how tracks number corners that aren't corners and don't number corners that are.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Still kind of oscillating back and forth between 1.5 to 1.7 seconds. He might also be cooling it. He might be saying, you know what, I don't need to chase this down right now. He might be working on a strategy. It's hard to know this early going in the race.
Could be. I definitely saw a couple of mistakes just being on board with him here. I'm not going to call out where, but I think he wants to be up there because look at this whole line of cars in front of him. Here is Ghost. Not too far from Ghost is Skywalker. Right in front of Skywalker is Green. And if they get to fighting, Ghost is right there. And I'm sure Matt Campbell would like to be along for the ride. In second place by a long way is Hovercraft. They can't worry about Hovercraft. They can't worry about Little Mac. Those two have checked out. But if I'm Matt Campbell, every now and then I can see Green, Skywalker, and Ghost. I don't want to be away from these guys. I want to be right there.
Absolutely, and look at how close this is. Obviously this is my first time commentating on the series, but you said earlier that this middle pack is usually how Lobby 2 goes, and that is proving to be the fact today. These guys are nicely bunched together, while, of course, RWB Little Mac and Hovercraft stretch off into the seeming horizon.
They're on the next race already. They're 2 weeks in the future. They are looking to the future. Speaking of, I'm just going to quickly flash the calendar in case you have missed it. Our next round is on February 24th. We're in the Audi R8. I'm sorry, that's now, actually. That's happening right now.
Today, Toddy. Today is February 24th. Welcome to Saturday.
Apologies. I think I got the wrong calendar graphic up, but I'm going to fix that if I can. What I meant was the next round is March 9th. We'll be in the Audi TT Cup, so same, still in the Audi family. A GT4 car at Goodwood. Ooh, that's going to be a good combo right there. That's a fast car in a straight
Goodwood,
line.
That's a fast car. I mean, an Audi TT race car around Goodwood would feel like a slot car around your living room. That would be insanely fast. That would be exciting to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Who else should we look at? Let's go check back in the back, because remember we had some things going on for like 13th place. We have a penalty here. Who is that? That is Leo. He's gonna have to take a half-second penalty, which is kind of worth a lot around here. It's kind of worth a lot, just because the straights are so long, right? Like, it's not like you take the penalty and then it's 2 seconds until the braking zone. It's like penalty, straight. This one is at a decent spot. It's not too far from the braking zone, and you immediately get a little boost downhill from the penalty spot. But we've seen penalty zones that are... Oh, who is that? Is that Mobile Edge? Yes,
we have a crash. Mobile Edge, 12 off, coming out of the final corner onto the pit straight.
He's going to go ahead and fix
immediately. He made the pit in.
Yep, he's like, I'm going to fix it. There's no need to... Yeah, I'm not going to do anything. He
Lucky
can't
there.
pick
Gosh.
tires here. I don't know if you know the rule, Paul, but we might as well talk about it. He can pit to fix his damage all day long as many times as he wants. He's got front splitter damage, which people can't see. And you can hear them working on it now. But he's got to leave immediately. He can't take tires or fuel out. Oh, my gosh. Oh, he's not going to like that. He touched the pit line.
3-second penalty breaking the blend line.
It's gone from bad to worse.
Incidents. Yes, you know what they say, incidents do breed further incidents. So lucky to have the crash happen right at the end of the lap to get into the pit lane, only to get out of the pit lane and break the blend line too early with a further 3-second penalty. That is unfortunate for Ledge.
That is very unfortunate. I say this all the time, but in this game you have to practice your pit in and pit out at these tracks. Those blend lines aren't that friendly, and sometimes on pit out, depending on the track or the length or width of your car, it can spit you out where your trajectory is taking you to cross that blend line, and you have to be ready to like steer the opposite direction right as it spits you out. That might be the situation here. Unfortunate turn of events for Mobile Edge, but man, they've got pace, but they're gonna have to figure it out. They're out in the grass now. They just caught a wheel.
Yep.
Yes. They just caught a wheel on the kitty loader there. Man,
it's so funny, the blend line. While we talk about it, the story goes is that those penalties came from Formula One when the Schumacher brothers were racing each other, and one of them crossed the blend line and the other team member for the other team decided to send an email back in the day on pit lane to penalize the other driver for breaking the blend line, which kind of became its own thing, and now, of course, is lore. Whether or not that's true or not, I have no idea.
Is that really where blend line rules came from?
I always understood that there was an incident in Formula One where the Schumacher brothers, I believe, were racing in Formula One. Michael, obviously, with Ferrari. Ralph, probably with Williams at the time. And I don't remember which one came out of the pits and, crossed the blend line early, but the other team called attention to it mid-race, I think, and, threw a penalty in the race. I probably shouldn't be talking about it without completely remembering, but
yep, because that's your task now.
Only 25 minutes into this race, so we'll probably have plenty of time to Google it and find out.
That's your task right now. I'm gonna need you to mute that mic, get on that keyboard and clack, 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 and find it. Oh, hovercraft is off. You do that while I talk about hovercraft. Hovercraft loses it going into the final corner. I think he already had some damage on that car. There's rear end damage, front splitter damage, front left wheel, and he's going to go ahead and dive into the pits, and he better hope he doesn't have the same fate as Mobile Edge, having to eat that heavy 3-second penalty. Up ahead, Matt Campbell in 5th place has caught back up to Ghost. He's half second away from him. Ghost, however, has lost a lot of time to Skywalker. You should be Googling Skywalker in 3rd place, still chasing down Green. He is off him just a little bit. He's just over 1 second past or behind him rather, but they should be okay. They might come back together. Ghost and Matt still trying to get this going. I wonder if they're going to keep working together. If Matt, now that he's pulled up, is he going to push Ghost to try to get up to Skywalker, or is he going to try to make a pass? Questions that need answers while we wait on our researcher, our research intern, Paul Marquardt, to find the answer to where pit blend line rules came about. And if you're not, Skywalker's caught back up to Green very easily. That wasn't even...
I am fiercely Googling. Thank God for the internet. Yes, it was Ralph Schumacher. It was in 2001 at the German Grand Prix at the Nürburgring. Gosh, back when Germany still had a Grand Prix.
Wow.
Plug to obviously petition for the Grand Prix of Germany to return to the calendar in Formula One. They have 25 jillion races. What's one more? But yes, Ralph Schumacher and Michael did battle it out there, and the penalty was called that way.
Wow. Well,
of course, I can remember things like this, Toddy, but when I've been asked to bring home butter from the grocery store, I always forget. Back to the race. 2nd place, RW Green, 21 seconds now, trailing RWB Little Mac, who is on another planet with pace. Skywalker 3rd, Matt Campbell and Ghost still battling out.
Matt Campbell around
and now RWB and Green. Yeah, we have 2 great battles here between 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th.
So Matt Campbell with that amazing livery that we just got a good long view at, makes his decision, gets around Ghost. Skywalker around Green. I think he had to make a decision too. I was wondering too. I'm like, they can work together. They see Matt Campbell and Ghost coming, or he can choose to put Green in between himself and Matt Campbell, who obviously has the pace around here, and he chose the latter. So Skywalker going to see if he can run away from RWB Green, or at least leave him as a landmine for Matt Campbell to run into and not catch him as we come towards the end of our first stint here. Sorta. We're 28 minutes in. Do you know the pit rule, Paul, or like the pit window situation? I go over it every race anyway. I just want to know if you know.
Well, let's have you go over it for the listeners. And we can say casually that in this instance, I would like to be a listener and learn as well.
That is Paul's very, very professional way of saying, nah, I do no research. Just you tell me. I'm joking. I'm the same way. So, it's a 2-hour long race, obviously, but there is a pit window in the middle of the race where drivers can take fuel and tires. This pit window starts at the 50-minute mark and it ends at the 70-minute mark. So it's literally the 20 minutes at the center of this race. In that window, like I said, you can take fuel. You have to change your tires. Each team, each car gets 1 set of medium tires, 1 set of soft tires, and you must use both. So that means you do have to change your tires during this pit window. If you take fuel or tires outside of the window, you incur a 1-minute penalty, which is huge. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. We will see people run out of fuel rather than eat that 1 minute penalty. It happens at a track like this with a high revving car, naturally aspirated at that, with a lot of long straights. We're going to see some people have trouble saving fuel. So that pit window and where people choose to stop during it in those 20 minutes, and how much fuel they take, it's a huge deal. Another fun fact about the pit window is refueling is slowed down from the standard 3 liters a second down to 1 liter a second. That is very, very slow. And it also means that literally saving just 1 liter of fuel over your opponent is worth a second on the track.
Understood. Thank you for that information about the pit stop. Yeah, you know, one thing about virtual racing, esports, that always blows my mind for me being a casual racer is I've never been able to successfully drive fast and do my own pit strategy at the same time. So kudos to our drivers today to be able to go fast, keep it off the walls, keep it on the track, compete, be consistent, and also develop an entire pit lane strategy that works to their advantage.
Oh, 100%. Better than me. It takes so much work and so much thinking. Now, of course, a lot of these guys are on teams together. Like S7 is a team, ESR is a team, and they may be in various lobbies, but they'll practice together and get their strategies together. I love this battle going on, by the way. We're going to stay on it while we talk about this. But to your point about... Ooh, no, I'm going to stop talking because it looks like Assassin is making a move on Let It Rip. He's not going to be able to get around him out of the slip. I think these cars have trouble getting around each other once they pop out. Let It Rip with the inside for the next corner, and Assassin is not going to be able to do anything but set himself up for a good exit out of this chicane here and have to try again later on. Whew, okay, had to make sure that we didn't miss any of that, Paul. But to your point...
Nothing wrong with interrupting yourself.
Right, exactly. To your point about having to think about all that at one time and be fast and battle, yes, and pay attention to your fuel and your tires, figure out when to pit. I can't do it. You know who's always my engineer when I have endurance races?
Who would that be?
Alex.
Alex Tonini, I'm assuming you're speaking about.
Yes,
another fantastic Gran Turismo player from France.
That's right. So the French guys are getting shouted out tonight. But yeah, Alex Tonini.
Of course.
I usually will let him know, hey, here's the car, here's the combo, here are the parameters, need your help. And if I'm lucky, he's available to be in my ear during the race as well. And some of these guys, Assassin out wide in turn 1.
Assassin out wide, yes. But still closing down here. He exited well despite that.
He did.
He is right on him now, heading into this first sector of the track. These two are really synced up pace-wise for this stage of the race.
Lots of pressure on Let It Rip here to keep it together.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Let It Rip defends or lets him go. If it doesn't fit his strategy, maybe he lets it, right here. So Assassin does go down the inside and makes a pass, but that might be to Rip's choice. Rip
I think so. That looks like he let him go. Yeah, I mean, he was on the wrong side of the track for that turn. Didn't look like he was even trying to correct to get on the right track, or the right side. Or wait, what? Maybe he didn't try to give it up because we're door to door here, Paul. We're door to door. S7 or Let It Rip trying to get it back from Assassin, and you can see these cars are evenly matched, but you can see the different lines they have to take because dirty air is a thing in all these corners. Ooh, Assassin out wide into that turn. He's gonna have to slow down not to spin it. That's gonna give Let It Rip a good run on him into the next corner, and he does get around him. Assassin with dirty tires, he's gonna have to worry about that for braking in the next corner, but wow, it's back and forth between the two of them. Let It Rip going to defend for this next corner here. It is a left-hander. Assassin looks inside, opts not to do it, stays out with Let It Rip. This is fantastic racing. Paul, could you stick with me this long around here?
Probably. I'm much better than you. No,
fair.
I'm just kidding, everybody.
Fair and fair. We also both don't know the track, so we really would just be figuring out who to wall ride better.
Correct. Honestly speaking, I couldn't pick a track in Gran Turismo that I'm less good at than this track right here. I've never been very effective at C'est Quoi. Having said that, it does race really well, so I've always encouraged racing at it. I just know I'm setting myself up for a lovely procession at the back.
It does race really, really well. I think I can only say there's been one period of my life where I did know this layout. I think I had to race it for a private league sometime early in the Gran Turismo sport days. That's how long it's been. And so at that time I did learn this track, and I can say that it definitely made really good racing. It's a really wide track. A lot of turns have multiple lines through them. It doesn't mean they're all fast lines, but it does make for good passing because there's so much space and so many decisions that can be made. Dirty air is a factor as well, so it does help that you can have multiple lines to be fast through a corner, because sometimes you have to take alternative lines in order to avoid going wide out. And that battle, by the way, between Let It Rip and Assassin has brought Hovercraft into the fold. We now have a three-way battle for 7th. Oh, it's two S7 cars versus an ESR car, and there's a joke here we're not going to make because this is a family broadcast. 4 cars! There's Ricardis!
Assassin really hooked up right now in this phase of the stint.
Absolutely. He is quick. He wants to get around Ricardis as quickly as possible because he's trying to get away from Let It Rip and his teammate behind him. But Ricardis stubbornly in the way there, not letting Assassin run away from Let It Rip and Hovercraft. Ricardis maybe had a mistake. I'm not sure what happened and why he finds himself back here, in these guys' clutches. He had a 3:10 that last lap, so I wonder if he just made a big mistake. Wow, four-way battle.
These guys seem to have stabilized here. Let's run from the top. We again have RWB Little Mac up in the front.
Does this
Skywalker chasing in second.
Stable to you? Is this stable right here? This whole four-way battle? That's stable? Is that stable for you? Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. Go ahead. You take it.
Little Mac here leading 23 seconds now into this phase of the race over second place Skywalker. Little Mac, again, as we continue to say, truly on another planet for pace.
Gone.
Let's get back to Skywalker here. Yep, Skywalker only 2 seconds ahead now of RW Green, with Matt Campbell 1.3 seconds behind. So, as we see here, the race kind of tightens up through 5th place, and then we have that first big gap from the lead pack to the second pack here with Ricardis now 23 seconds behind 5th place. But as we've been saying, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th is anyone's game right now.
I think we just watched a team order happen there. That felt like a team order.
Considering that potentially, considering that we still do have, over an hour and 20 minutes of the race left, these guys are battling pretty hard.
That's right. Still at it back here, Graham and Leo for 10th place. Leo, we saw eat a half-second penalty just a couple of laps ago, and glad that he's found somebody to race with. These guys are 8 seconds behind that battle that we just saw, and it could close if those guys up front don't get it together and start working together. Behind them, Mobile Edge, who we've seen time and time again have the worst luck, back up in the 12th place. 18 seconds to Leo, though. He's got a lot of clean air ahead of him to just run if he can, if he's got the fuel, if he's got the tires up under him to do so. Behind him by 2 seconds is Jay in that second BFR car. That was an interesting turn. It looked like for us. And then J-Rod.
And coming back to Mobile Ledge, who did have that bad accident there coming out of the last corner and then catching a penalty for the blend line. It is early in the race. It was his first stop, or rather his first penalty. He does have time to adjust strategy and potentially change tact and see how he can claw back this time. When we started covering him just a minute ago, he was a second a second further back, and he's closing in now quite fast on ATK.
That's correct. So Mobile Edge definitely on a tear, and we've seen people come back from worse. In fact, our leader of this race, Little Mac, last week took a drive-through penalty and was in last place by a lot. I don't even remember how much, but close to 20 seconds, if not more. And then by the end of the race was chasing down first place. So
understood.
It can be done.
Toddy, we have some questions coming in from listeners.
Do we?
that
Thanks
I'm
for checking
getting
chat.
here.
I forgot. We have a battle though.
We do. We're being asked, what are the youngest and oldest drivers racing this evening? And could anyone race tonight?
I don't know. I don't know who the youngest and the oldest are. That's a good question. And I don't even see that question, by the way. Big Red says we could use more car audio. Sure, I could agree. I can see that.
You wouldn't see those questions because they're coming to me directly.
Oh, nice. Love that. Yeah, I have no idea who's the youngest or oldest. I apologize. I wish I knew more about our drivers. I'm terrible about that. Daniel wants to know who's on mediums and who's on softs. We can't let you know just yet, but 5 minutes before the pit window opens, I will take the banner away and reveal the answers to that for you. Any other questions, Paul, from your end?
No, that's all we got so far. Looking here still, 13th and 14th tied at the hip. J49, RWB, Ledge a little bit further up the road.
Yep, I think this is J-Rod starting to make a move on J49 here. Is he going to make it stick? He's got to go around the outside if he is, and he's going for it. He's trying it. That gives him the inside for the next corner. He makes it happen. Very well executed by J-Rod, trusting in the grip in those tires. And, yeah, I mean, the racing mediums are still doing pretty good in the race this far, but that was definitely all about trust and knowing that you had it to get around the outside there for Jay. And J-Rod already started to create a gap between those two drivers. They got a long way to go to Mobile Edge, though. 5.5 seconds.
Absolutely. Let's go back up to the front of the grid here and see that pack that you so eloquently said was not stable. Let's take a look.
Let's see.
Yeah, they're stretching out a little bit more now. It is settling down in this next phase of the race as we head into 45 minutes gone, an hour and 15 or so remaining in the event.
They have stabilized. Ghost 45 and Matt Campbell have been able to run away from Hovercraft, Assassin, and Let It Rip, because Assassin has still been in this battle with the two S7 cars. He's now sandwiched between them, and you can see just how much time they've lost to Ghost 45. 23.2 seconds in arrears now, and I don't think it was that big a gap before, was it? Wasn't Ghost part of that? No, he wasn't, was he? It started with these. He was with 6th place, didn't it?
Correct. 6, 7,
okay,
8, 9 is that battle that we've been watching. Correct, yeah.
My bad. But where's 9th? Where is Ricardus? Way back.
Right
and
there.
In Grauman's clutches. Grauman and Leo behind Ricardus now. So Ricardus not really on pace, because, I mean, remember, that pack caught up to him, and then Assassin was desperately trying to get around him. Oh, and he's being helped off the track. Grauman with a little bit of a tap. It was kind of a big of a tap there, actually, and he's going to let Ricardus go while managing to keep Leo behind him. I don't know if that was a little bit of blockage there, but he does give the position back and doesn't lose another one and continue. Now it is fully a 3-way battle for 9th place. What do you think is going on with Ricardus' pace here? He's got a 3:22 and a 3:18. He's having some bad laps.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Obviously, we're into the stint. We're not sure how long he hopes to or does not hope to go on this tire and fuel. Great to see the clean racing and, you know, giving room and then obviously giving space back when you've made a mistake. Obviously, Nirvana for open lobbies if you're playing on Gran Turismo any night.
Hint, hint. Yeah, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You take someone out, you know, give the position back. It's just the lobby. Be nice. But yes, that is gentlemanly racing is definitely something that's encouraged in this league. You are encouraged to give the position back, because if that incident is reported, you know, they'll take that into consideration when the stewards dole out your penalty. There usually is something penalized about it, you know, especially if you really affected someone's race there. I think Grauman just almost lost it into that corner, and he ends up behind Leo. Just dipped the wheel into the grass, I think, almost spun it. But yeah, if you give the position back, it'll be considered when a penalty is decided. Should we go? Actually, I think that kind of was like the excitement. Assassin losing Hovercraft, so Hovercraft is kind of checked out of this battle now. He was holding Assassin up for Let It Rip, but Assassin now pretty much in front of Let It Rip, a second between the two of them, and then he's got a lot of room to hovercraft there. So I think that battle kind of starting to resolve itself as well. I think, we can show tires. We're 44 minutes into the stint. Why don't we go up front? We'll take the banner off, let everyone see what everyone's fuel and tire situation is. We'll make our analytical assessments, I guess. From there, Paul, I'm going to let you speak to the first 10, I think. Little Mac is who we're looking at now on those racing softs.
Yes, yeah, now that we have tire data being shown, correct, Toddy, to make sure I'm allowed to talk about this?
You can talk about I would never trick you into talking about something and then telling you can't talk about it.
Awesome. Yeah, Little Mac up front, 24.7 seconds, leads the race over Skywalker and RW Green. RWB Little Mac is on racing softs. His tire's quite used right now. Obviously, that can explain to some of the pace. Not sure his strategy deeper into this, but he is running. I mean, we're working lap 15 now on soft tires with a lighter tank of fuel. Really impressive tire management.
That's
Second
right.
place Skywalker chasing Little Mac now, nearly half a minute behind. Racing mediums for him, similar fuel. Better wear, but obviously you would expect that better wear with a harder compound.
Absolutely.
Third place, RW Green, medium tires as well. A little bit more wear on the rears than second place. So RW Green may be chasing and leaning on that tire harder to catch up to second place. Now 5.7 seconds up the road. Fourth place, Matt Campbell, not Penske Porsche driver Matt Campbell.
You don't know that.
I keep making that joke the entire broadcast.
You don't know
Matt
that.
Campbell, 912. You're right, I don't know that. It very well could be Rolex Daytona 24-hour winner 2024, Matt Campbell. He's on racing mediums. Similar wear to third place RWB Green. 1.1 seconds adrift, 31 seconds off the lead. Fifth place TT Ghost, racing mediums again. So as we continue to work our way down, only Little Mac on the soft compound. Ghost, medium tire wear, looking very, very, similar to fourth and third place. Sixth place, S7 hovercraft, racing mediums again. Another medium compound driver, but he's a way back. He's a ways back. 21 seconds off fifth place. So that's our first major break in the runners. Seventh place Assassin. We've been talking about him a lot. 3 seconds off sixth place. He is too on racing medium, similar wear to the people ahead of him. Let It Rip, eighth place. Mediums as well. A little bit better wear, I actually would say. 2 seconds off of Assassin. Ricardus, ninth place. 10 seconds ahead, behind, 1 second ahead of 10th place. This car, Ricardus, left side tires looking a little bit more worn than we've seen in the other drivers on the similar compound. 10th place ATK.
Leo.
Leo, yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
10th place Leo, also running the medium tire. Although I will say his medium tires look considerably stronger than the people ahead of him. So he might be running might be running this stint a little bit easier, giving the tire a little bit more life. Not really able to tell now, of course, but that is something to watch as the race breaks into the latter stages of the first hour. 11th place, 1302.
I get to do everyone past 10th. You don't get to do everything. All right?
Oh, gosh. Excuse me.
Oh my gosh. Should I just go ahead and rename the broadcast the Paul Show? Because I think I have that power in YouTube. I can do that. I don't. I probably don't. No. Thank you, Paul. No, that was awesome. To your point, Leo, really good tires situation. Fuel too, a full quarter tank of fuel, a little bit over actually when we first started talking about it. So I think Leo traditionally is pretty good on fuel and tires. Grumman in 11th place. Tires also look pretty good, not too bad on fuel. As we've seen with everyone else, those left-hand side tires significantly more worn than the rights. This is as complicated and complex as you see this track in the upper right-hand corner. It's very much a clockwise track, and those you lean on those left fronts a lot for some pretty long corners, or front side tires, period. I went the wrong direction, but behind Grauman is Mobile Ledge, who we've seen have some trouble and still has managed to keep a good amount of rubber on those tires and some fuel in that car. So Mobile Edge not looking too bad for someone who's been chasing down with a lot of pace and had to start over a couple of times. J-Rod, his fronts look almost brand new. That's crazy. J-Rod basically not using the front tires at all. He's just been in a wheelie around the track apparently. Fuel also looks great for J-Rod. Unfortunately, it's not much better than anyone else, so he's been taking it really easy on those tires and probably would have good pace at the end of the stint, but he's not going to make any passes on fuel saving, I don't think. Behind him, J49, his tires look a little more worn, more fuel than anyone we've seen so far though on board, a good bit above a quarter tank on that car. And then finally we have Carjack, who's carrying damage, front splitter damage, front left wheel damage, also tire wear, especially that rear left looks really bad on that car, but a good amount of gas in that car as well. Everyone doing pretty similarly with a couple of differences in fuel saving. However, if you recall, just 1 liter is a huge difference in the pits. I've noticed that Little Mac, our leaders, probably got the worst fuel situation. Or was it Little Mac, or was it was Skywalker? Sorry, Skywalker in second place. Yeah, he's already got that light flashing, so he's going to have to jump into the pits sooner than anyone else and probably put the most amount of fuel, therefore necessitating he spends the most amount of time in the pits. Whew, that was a good rundown. Pit lane is open now, by the way. We're 50 minutes into the race. Go ahead and change that graphic so you can see that it's open. Look, it's cute. It's green. It has little arrows.
And speaking of pit lane being open, Skywalker, our second place runner, he's got the fuel light on. So he is running up against what he wants to do and how much gas the car has left.
Welcome to the broadcast, Paul. So glad you caught up to that.
Yes, gasoline continues to prove to be quite important to the success of the internal combustion engine. Yes.
You need a fuel source. Noted.
Yes.
Whoa, Matt Campbell.
One of my favorite...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What happened with Matt Campbell? No, go ahead.
I just think that he was behind Green, wasn't he? He was in fourth.
Matt Campbell was behind Green. Correct. We have missed a track position change. Matt Campbell onto the podium now, 51 minutes into the race. Now RW Green dropping down to 4th place, but they're still pretty close together, 1.4-ish seconds.
They are, but
of course,
I think
neither
Green
of them
is slowing
have
down.
pitted yet.
I think Green is slowing down significantly, though. He is fully in Ghost 45's clutches, and look at his last 3 laps. 308 or 306, and then suddenly dropped to 308 and now a 309 for his last lap. I think Green has been dropping in pace significantly, maybe to save fuel. That's got to be the only thing I can think of outside of several big mistakes, but I think he wants to do something, maybe go deeper into the stint, and he realizes he needs to save more fuel to do it.
Absolutely. Anything to play right now as we start to look for who's going to blink and come to pit lane.
That's right. Clearly holding Ghost 45 up here, as we've seen Matt Campbell go from 1 second ahead to 2.3. Ooh, our leader already into the pits early on for Little Mac. He's going to get rid of the softs and get on the mediums, which is interesting because he was still running 306.1. He can do 305s on those tires. Very interesting decision to pit in this early and not keep that fast tire on, because, I mean, the best mediums are still doing 305s and 306s. Skywalker also in. He has no choice. He's got no gas. Yeah, he's going to come in with
we've got RWB Little Mac. We do have the leader in the pits. The leader in, Skywalker in from 2nd place. Little Mac now dropping back down to 4th. Matt Campbell to the lead. Matt Campbell running the medium tire, yet to pit, but Campbell's fuel light is on as well. So we're going to see a lot of shuffling here up at the top of the race as everyone calls to pit lane.
We are. I really do think that it's going to come down to fuel management in this race as far as like pits and stuff like that. We've seen most people with similar tire wear, tire situations, but Ooh, Green with a big wiggle there out of that corner. That's going to give Ghost 45 a run on him. He's going to get around him. What happens for the next corner, though? Green still with the inside. Little tap to help. Green gets the position back. Ghost 45 does not have good track position for that next corner. And Green, lucky, I think literally just track position saved him there after that big wiggle. But Ghost 45 obviously wants to be ahead of him. Oh, I like the noises. I love like the sound design of the game. And I'm going to shut up after I say this so we can keep listening to it. But like you can hear the cars echoing off the environment, and I just love that. Wow.
Yeah, Gran Turismo never ever disappoints with that, you know, total experience playing the game. Graphics, sound design, car selection, and of course, you know, Gran Turismo 7's one of the party pieces of the game is, you know, the introduction of ray tracing, 4K. It's the best Gran Turismo's ever looked in its 26 years.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely stunning looking game. The sound design, obviously, I mean, Gran Turismo has always gotten flack for the sound of its cars, which I think is greatly improved in this game, but I won't speak to whether or not it has the best sounding cars. But I think as far as sound design goes, you know, the way the cars sound, the way the environment sounds, the crowd or the helicopter, its rotors, you know, whipping up the air as it goes overhead, like all of that is taken into consideration for an almost complete soundscape in this game. I love you'll be racing and you'll just randomly hear like the announcer around like the on-track speakers, right? Maybe you don't understand exactly what's being said, but there's clearly a voice there which just reminds you of actually being at a track on a race weekend. I love it.
On board again with RW Green, third place, chasing second, TT Ghost, half a second adrift.
That's right. I wonder if he's going to pit here. We're coming up to that last corner. Coming up to the final corner. There's somebody in the pits right now. I'm not sure who that is, but we're going to check and see who that is. Ghost 45 clearly not going to pit. Green is going to get in.
Green pitting though. Green blinks, comes to pit lane from third place.
Who was that in there? That was Jack in there. But yeah, Green in the pits now with 9 liters.
And we have damage for Jack. And sorry to interrupt, Toddy. Jack here with us on camera in pit lane with a front splitter issue, sitting here, losing valuable time. Jack refueling 2 minutes adrift off the lead of the race, so that's over half a lap down.
It is. I mean, keep in mind the lead of the race, Matt Campbell, owes a pit stop though, so that will come down. I think Jack is still not. Like, I think it's fairly high up on the lead lap, like, once the lane shuffle ends, right? Oh, who's this? This is our leader, Matt Campbell. Is that an Incredibles livery, do you think? I was wondering what that was earlier. Hang on. It's got this eye. It looks like the Incredibles logo.
Forgive me, the Incredibles as in, like, the Disney Elastigirl? Are we talking about Pixar?
Yep, Pixar.
Yes, absolutely. I do believe that is branding from The Incredibles. Good choice.
Very
Baby
good choice.
Jack, obviously OP in that family.
Like I was going to say, I was like, if you channel Jack, it's the world is your oyster. And clearly Matt Campbell's been running really well in this race. Very interested to see how he does in the second stint. He's obviously been running very quickly, and I would call him the front runner of the cars who were on the medium tire. For sure. By the way, I think Jack with a 3-second penalty coming out of the pits and moving very slowly. Very slowly here. Why are we stopping on the track?
The car stopped on track. He's right at, I mean, he's on his outlap still, only 1 minute and 12 seconds into the lap with still front splitter damage.
That's right. That is, I think he's in third or fourth corner of the track. So he literally just came out of the pits. Maybe a little disappointment from that big penalty going wide here on those cold tires. He came off the softs, and what's funny, I literally came back to him because I couldn't remember if he was the only other driver on softs in the first stint. He's off the softs, now on the mediums, getting used to those cold mediums, and yes, wrapping his head around the fact that he just picked up a 3-second penalty. I wonder how many people are going to pick that penalty up. Who else is pitted? Let's go see who else might have it. We know our leader, Little Mac, did. Little Mac, penalty? No penalty for Little Mac. Skywalker pitted. Ooh, we're going to stop talking about that because we have a battle for 10th here between Jay and Ricardis. We just saw fall further and further down the order in this stint. Ricardis is not who's in the battle. Who did I just see battling? Oh, Skywalker and BFRJ. Alright, well, it's not a battle anymore. We're going to go back to Ricardis. Very professional broadcast here. Ricardis in 12th place. We kept seeing fall further and further down the order towards the second half of that first stint. He started the race in 12th and it made his way up pretty far. So technically, no net loss or gain. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I'm going to take the commentator punt, and I'm going to punt it back to you. I'm not sure, Toddy.
I'm going to catch it. I'm going to run with it.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, run that down in the end zone. Sports metaphor. Check that off the box for today's broadcast. And quickly, we have now elapsed 1 hour. We are over halfway into tonight's race. Working lap 19. Pit stops have just taken place. First place, Ghost running up at top. Yep, with Matt Campbell chasing in second. Yep, third place, Hovercraft. Hovercraft rising to the front after a mid-run earlier in the race.
Matt Campbell pitted, actually, so Hovercraft is in second. And Matt was in the pits. Or still is in the pits. Uh-oh. You still with me, Paul? Have I lost you?
I am back. I disconnected real quickly, but I'm here. Sorry about that, Toddy. Where are we?
It's okay. You're doing great. You're doing great, sweetie. We are looking at Hovercraft in second place. Because Matt Campbell, who did have the provisional lead, he did pit. I think he's just finished fueling, and so should be out
go back,
now.
Toddy.
Go back to who?
We just saw a crash. A car pointed the wrong direction at the entrance to pit lane. I think that was Ricardis.
That might have been. Oh yeah, huge damage on Ricardis' car. No, he already had damage when we looked at him. Maybe more damage. Can Jack back in the pits though to, I guess, fix that damage on the front splitter? Or no, I think he's just silently quit. There's no work being done on that car, no refueling, nothing. I think he's just called it. Okay, well, it happens sometimes.
We have our first DNF of the race. P15 occupied. Yep, correct. Good effort. They always used to say at Le Mans that the bbest time to DNF is right before the bars close. You don't want to DNF after the bars are closed.
Absolutely not. So Ricardis calling it, or not Ricardis, sorry, Canjack calling it early so that he can go to the bar at Saint Croix. And what did you say? Obviously, it's in Eastern France. Obviously, we're in the east of France.
Obviously, yes. Obviously, this track is in Southeast France, where the Pagandays come from. No, I'm kidding. Florent Paganday, not from Saint Croix, but he's probably laughing right now as I call him out incorrectly.
He probably is. Another 3-second penalty for RWB Green, who was running in third place for so long. Wow. That 3-second penalty is catching people out.
Indeed, the blend line does not take prisoners.
Clearly not, and Green is usually one of the absolute top running people in this league, so if anyone would have gotten enough practice not to mess that up, it would be Green.
Well, Toddy, while we have a minute here to breathe, let's run from the top now with an hour to go. Less than an hour to go. Ghost leads from Hovercraft in second place. Third place.
Do you want to run from the top before the pit stops are done? Because we're going to have to do it again when they finish. So do you want to run from the top before the pit stops are done? Because we're going to have to do it again when they finish.
Good call.
Let It Rip is in P3 technically, but we'll see where he comes out. So is Grumman, both of them coming in with less than 10 liters of fuel in, but Let It Rip came in with 3 liters of fuel more than Grumman, and so let's assume they put the same amount of fuel back in the cars. Technically, Let It Rip could come out 3 seconds ahead of him. Obviously, they're going to be on different strategies. They're going to fit different amounts of fuel in their car, most likely, but every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Now J-Rod's
agonizingly slow refuel time.
Look at
crawling
J-Rod's
in. Yes,
tires.
JR in.
Why are they still so perfect?
The tire whisperer, apparently.
Seriously, the tire whisperer. So, I mean, if he can make the mediums look like they weren't used at all in the front, I'm sure he can make those softs last for the entirety of this second stint. He is pitting late in the pit window as well, about 14 minutes into it. So he's going to have those soft tires working as well as possible for him. He saved a decent amount of fuel too, so maybe the second stint is where we see J-Rod come back alive. Maybe.
Gosh, agonizingly long wait sitting there in pit lane. Nothing takes longer.
No idea. Nothing. Like, you could probably get up and get you a glass of water. That's Grumman out of the pits. He takes 67 liters of fuel in that car.
Did he cut the blend line there? Sorry, Toddy. Him coming out of pit lane, was that just an optical illusion, or did he cut pit lane? No penalty assessed yet. I think he made it away okay.
Okay, let's watch J-Rod when he leaves. He should be leaving soon. Well, let's see how he does on that. There he goes. He's going to come out. Blend line is, it does kind of spit you out across it.
It does.
Did he connect, or not connect, but did he correct in time?
We might hear feedback from the drivers after the race on how frustrating that is if the game is launching you out just close enough to really have you be on top of it to avoid that 3-second penalty.
That's right. I think he got away without it there. So did Grumman. Well done for them both there. Ghost 45, our current leader, is in with 1 liter of fuel left in that car, but he's going to jump into the pits now. And you know what? Why don't we, to your point, why don't we do a rundown to see who still owes us a pit stop? How about that? Obviously.
Wonderful. Yep. So
Ghost working on it.
Yep. Ghost working on a pit stop now.
Hovercraft also working on it.
Yep. Hovercraft now pitting along with Ghost. So matching strategy here. Ghost and Hovercraft.
That's right.
Interesting to see that conversion. And we also have to remember that our early call, our early race leader pitted off softs. So now he's cycled back and he's no longer has that soft compound advantage. It's really tough right now to get a read on the race.
That's
Again,
right.
Here watching Hovercraft with his pit stop, agonizingly slow fuel refill for the big tank.
Yep.
Guzzling in. Whenever I watch a slow fuel pit stop, it always reminds me of the diesel Audis at Le Mans that had to have a slower refill rate because the diesel would foam, and they had to come up with different ways to fill up the cars just as fast as the gasoline competitors.
Interesting. So to answer your question about Little Mac, he's just taken the lead while those two, Hovercraft and Ghost, sat in the pits. So the question is, how much of a lead will he have? It should still be around that 23, 24 seconds, I think it was. But can he keep it with those medium tires, or will they be chasing him down with those softs? His gamble is that he picked up enough of a gap in that first stint that he can keep these guys at bay and maybe stay ahead of them while their softs wear down. And hopefully they don't catch him by the end of the stint when they are worn. 17.
Yep, a big gamble, but
seconds.
it's nice to see. It is nice to see the differing race strategies, using different compounds, playing with fuel save. This is the endurance racing that we all love. This is not a sprint, although you could say that each stint is a sprint, but we still have over 50 minutes to go here.
That's right, a good long way to go. So a long time for guys like Skywalker.
Now.
That's right, long time for Skywalker to chase Little Mac down. Matt Campbell, who we saw was really pacey, he's 10 seconds behind Skywalker, but he'll also be chasing and wanting that first place. Again, these two are going to be on the faster tire, Little Mac on the slower one, but Well, here's what I think is going to happen. Skywalker's going to run low on fuel. Because, I mean, we saw that first stint. He was like the first one with the light on. I don't think he's very good at fuel saving. I think Matt Campbell's going to have him there. He's going to fall to Matt Campbell's clutches. Matt Campbell will be chasing Little Mac on those softs, keeping in mind he's got to keep the softs together, right? So that he can try to make a pass on Little Mac when he gets there. But that's my prediction. Matt Campbell fighting for first place. Skywalker not really in the battle because he's going to run out of fuel.
Well, someone listening, please clip Tatiana's 8-ball reading here of Skywalker and Matt Campbell's fate, and we'll play that back later in the race and see if she is a worthy psychic. Let's to the track action.
Out. Back to the on-track action. Let's go.
Yeah, 45. Back to the on-track action.
Pit window closes in 30 seconds, by the way. Everyone should have pitted by now. I'm going to start the run-through, and then I'll turn it over to you. We just talked about Little Mac. On the racing mediums, he pitted a while ago. He's got a little under 3/4 of a tank of gas. Skywalker with a little over half a tank, I think is optimistic for Skywalker to short fuel like that on the racing softs. He will actually be using more fuel on the softs than he did on the mediums as well, because you can get on the gas. You can brake later, you can get on the gas earlier on the soft tire, so you will be using more fuel, period. But he short fueled in an effort to make up time, and he did, made up a lot of time on Little Mac. Matt Campbell behind him on the racing softs as well. A little more fuel, under a 3/4 tanks of gas as well. Ghost 45, same amount of fuel, racing softs that he just took, so those things are brand new. He pitted very late in the pit window stint, in the pit window. Hovercraft behind, also on very new looking softs, just over a half tank of fuel in that car. RWB Green on those softs, 3/4 tank of fuel and a half-second penalty he's going to have to eat. Might lose a position to Assassin here, who is in 7th place. Also on the softs, everyone else should be on softs actually, except for what's their name? Took a good amount of fuel. Assassin not taking any chances on gas. He is filled up to a 3/4 tank. Let it rip behind him. Most people seemingly with around the same amount of fuel, just over half a tank of fuel, just under a 3/4 tank, whatever it is. Leo on very fresh softs as well. Grauman, same situation. Paul, I'm gonna let you take it from here. Ooh.
Oh, sorry, here I was muted. Yes. So where do we leave off? We're on 11th place, correct? Awesome. 11th place. Oh, my stream just dropped major quality. We're down to 280p all of a sudden. I cannot see a single thing. 1 second here, Toddy. Why don't you keep going with the rundown? I'm going to play IT for a second.
No problem. I think it's me because it looks like it on my end too. So I will actually stop streaming and then start streaming again. But yes, Jay on the racing soft with just a half tank of gas in that car, right on the money for Jay. So he's going to have to do some saving, I'm sure. J-Rod also on those softs, a good amount of fuel in that car, but he is so far behind, 1 minute 51 seconds behind first place, so that is most of a lap. Can you see okay now, Paul?
I cannot. I am not seeing the stream right now.
That's awful. All right, well, let me finish this and then I'll fix that. We'll do some more IT stuff. Mobile Edge, racing softs, a lot of gas in that car. Mobile Edge, his plan is to run everyone down. He's 3 seconds behind J-Rod. In fact, he ended up behind J-Rod probably because he did take all that fuel in that car. Ricardus is running in dead last here with almost 3/4 tank of fuel. Jack, who we saw pitted during the pit window actually, and has just parked it here. That's our first and only DNF of the race so far. That's our rundown. And by the way, that gap between Little Mac, that was like 17 seconds a moment ago. It is down to 16 seconds now. It's growing again because I think Skywalker just had a big issue, because when I started talking about that, it was 15 seconds. Now it's 16 and a half. So something happened to Skywalker. So it's not as small a gap as I thought it was going to be. All right, Paul, let me figure out this screen share situation with you.
Wonderful.
I stop sharing.
Sorry, everybody. Technology is also always only as good as it wants to be.
Always. All right, I've just started sharing again. What do you got?
I am not seeing anything so far.
God dang. All right, we're both going to quit Discord and we're going to jump back in. See you in 10 seconds.
Understood. Right back, everybody.
Quitting Discord, reopening Discord, looking for updates and starting that up. Little entertainment for our friends on the stream here. Let me get back on call with Paul. Haha, that rhymes. Paul's not answering. There he goes. All right, let's try this again.
Let me know when we're live.
We're live. Can you see my screen? Please say yes.
There we go. Full 1080p again. Little Mac leading 15 seconds ahead of Skywalker.
Hey,
I think you're right, Toddy. Skywalker.
It's 1440. Okay, I'm doing my best here. It's 1440, 60 FPS.
Matt Campbell, third place, goes fourth. Hovercraft, fifth, rounding up the top five. Our fastest lap, Ledge, at a 303.725. 1 hour, 15 minutes gone. That brings us to 45 minutes left in the race, Tatiana. Where do you think we're sitting here with this mid-pack? You know, sixth place let it rip, 33 seconds adrift from fifth. So again, after the pit cycle phase, as we let kind of everything calm down a little bit, obviously jokingly calming down, we still have this sizable gap between fifth and sixth place. The question is, if you cycle down, are sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth still tied together at the hip? No. Seventh place and eighth place, 8 seconds adrift. Yes, ninth and eighth, though, close together. Grumman and Assassin, who we've been talking about a lot, that beautiful white and blue Audi chasing Grumman now, only 4/10 of a second adrift.
I wonder what Assassin can do.
1 minute, 26 seconds off the leader, though. What did you say?
I said, I wonder what Assassin can do with clean air. Every time we look at him, he's in a battle. Like, the guy can't get away from anyone on this humongous track.
If he could... Absolutely, Assassin must feel like he's in your hometown of Atlanta, Toddy, just driving anywhere, just constantly with traffic.
Just a bunch of people, right? You're like, I'm at a humongous track with 3.5 people. How do I keep ending up on someone's bumper? Assassin with a huge dive, and he doesn't make it. He doesn't make it
off the track. He is collecting himself. Yep. So again, losing more time to Grumman. Now a minute 29 off the leader. That is unfortunate.
That was a huge mistake there. He went from battling on Grumman's bumper to now over 3 seconds behind him. Just took a dive into that hairpin. I don't know if he meant to or if he just missed his braking. He's lucky not to end up in the wall. But yeah, I lost a ton of time to Grumman there. I guess there's the clean air he was looking for.
Yeah, I guess that's our first instance where we get to say commentator's curse. He's got endless road ahead of him now.
Endless. Behind them, sorry, I'm going in the wrong direction. Behind them, Jay, also in no man's land. Green, RWB Green, who had that 3-second penalty he had to eat after the pit window. He has not recovered well at all. Went from running in second place, fell down to third, I believe, at some point, or maybe it was fourth. Fell down to fourth behind Matt Campbell. He's now in 11th place and 4 seconds behind Jay. He's got to figure something out if he wants to get back into the top 5. Whew. Ledge, Mobile Ledge, he's doing all right. He's trying his best. He's still sitting in 12th place, 8.7 seconds behind Green. I don't know that he has the pace to chase Green down, so we'll pay attention to that gap. Obviously, we'll pay attention to Green to Jay, 3.6 seconds, see if that goes down or up or what's going on. J-Rod chasing Mobile Ledge down 3.9 seconds away. It was about 3.5 seconds when they came out of the pits, so I don't think J-Rod really doing anything pace-wise against Mobile Ledge either, just like it was in the first stint. So J-Rod might not do much better than where he is in this race. We'll see how the soft tires evolve as we get to the end of the stint, though. Again, we've seen that he's very good on tires. And if tire wear is going to be an issue, it'll be exacerbated on the softs. Regardless,
and remember, still 40 minutes to go. Lots can happen. A long way to go.
Long way to go. Very close walls on a very fast track. Yes, a lot of stuff can happen. A lot of good and bad things, we would say. I never want anyone to crash, right, Paul? But like, if it means bunching the top 10 back up, let's say, I think it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice that must be made. Yeah. Talk about tires. Take it away. I shouldn't even be showing the tires. I didn't realize I didn't have that on. Sorry. Man, I'm distracted by having a friend here with me. Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say sorry or you're welcome, but okay. We follow
Both.
Little Mac again. Yeah, after the pit cycle, Little Mac rises to the top. So again, like we had said before, his soft tire strategy is playing out now. 13.8 seconds over Skywalker. Matt Campbell fading to fourth. We thought Matt Campbell might be playing here, but he's dipped back a little bit. He's racing Ghost here. We do have a track battle. I'm glad we found this through the cameras. Third and fourth place. Campbell leading Ghost out of turn 1, headed towards turns 2 and 3. That makes sense, as 2 and 3 do come after the number 1. Good job, Paul. Coming up to the left-hander, the first hard left braking area. Campbell looking good.
I think I know what
riding
happened
along
to
with
Matt,
Ghost.
or what might have happened. Sorry about the messages popping up, by the way. Viewers, I forgot to turn that off before I started commentating. Matt, no damage on that car, but clearly had a bad lap. A 3:11 the last time around. I think maybe they had to eat a penalty.
Correct, or maybe an off-track excursion, but was still able to keep it off the walls for no damage.
Yeah, well done. Managed to save it there. Yeah, it could be either one, right? It would have to be a pretty big penalty to lose. What is it? Oof, yeah, like 6 seconds over their lap before. So maybe an excursion indeed, but I wonder where you can go on an excursion without hitting the walls. Maybe just some luck. Maybe caught a wheel on the outside somewhere and just went for a little ride. Scary stuff.
Anything is possible. Absolutely.
Look who's lurking.
Yeah, I mean, this is tightening up here. 3, 4th, and 5th, Campbell, Ghost, and Hovercraft. We could see this becoming that next little pack here, but again, 30 seconds for Hovercraft to drift off of first place. Little Mac working lap 26 of the race.
That's right, 39
Hovercraft
seconds.
putting in and Hovercraft too with the fastest lap of the race now, taking it from Ledge 3:03.469, and that is his fastest lap on his last lap 25.
That's
so
right.
Maybe Hovercraft finding some speed and his car coming alive here with these soft tires and only obviously working down the gas with the fuel level also.
Yep, I think those who are on the soft tires the cars should still be getting better for them, because the tires aren't that worn. They're using up their fuel, so the car's getting lighter. The time is shifting on the track, though. You can see the sun seems to be a little bit lower. Still pretty high, though, so track temps are probably just fine. So yeah, I would expect that fastest lap, that 3:03.469, comes down even further, maybe by Hovercraft or someone else. But yeah, not this time around though, because we just saw that sector marker. They're 1.2 seconds down from that fastest lap is Hovercraft. So if it's going to change this lap, it's not going to be from him.
Understood. Good catch. Working our way back down now.
Yeah, seeing if
place.
we have any excitement, and if we don't,
yeah,
I want
things
to tell
are
people
spreading
about
out.
this beautiful track.
Sorry, Toddy, say again. You cut out for me.
No problem. I was saying if there isn't any more excitement, I want you to tell people about this beautiful track. Like, look at this view with the mountain and everything. This is an original Gran Turismo track. Not that it's original to the game, but it means it's Gran Turismo made it. Mobile Edge in the pits with damage. I don't hear any tools going, so I think that's another DNF. It's not
such
been
a
good
shame.
race.
Hopefully not. Ledge has been one of my personal livery favorites in the race today, down to P14, 2 minutes and 15 seconds of drift. Yes, no fuel going in, no work on the car at all. Tati, I do believe you're right. I think we have our second DNF, P14. Second DNF, garage closing, if you will, at 1 hour, 23 minutes elapsed into our 2-hour race. Yeah, St. Croix is beautiful. I was talking to another Gran Turismo ace, Kenny Hansen, from who I met from Gran Turismo Sport. He reminded me that, you know, most Gran Turismo original circuits do get based off of a real location. So yes, this is in the southeast of France, St. Croix. And yeah, wide as a modern Tier 1 racing circuit for Formula 1, you know, a la Sepang, a la any of those Herman Tilke circuits.
Right.
But with, you know, like we talked about earlier, an enormous amount of varied corners, long straights, short straights, 90-degree corners, long apex corners, and anything in between. But back to track action, Campbell and Ghost now really going at it here, working lap 27. Campbell holding off Ghost. Can we go on board with Ghost here?
Yeah, we can. If I'm Ghost, I decide, am I working with Matt Campbell? We try to get away from Hovercraft together. But I think that maybe he's tried that. Hovercraft just keeps getting closer. It's 1.3 seconds now. And yeah, he's going to try to make a move around the outside here. If he keeps it around the outside, we'll have the inside for the next part of the chicane. Sure enough, he keeps it neat, keeps it nice. He gets that position. Oh, but Mobile Edge with an over-under. He's going to try to get him in there. He did almost get him with the undercut. Picked up a half second in the process. This is Ghost's corner. He's got it. Or Ghost position, rather. That's Ghost up there. We're on board with Matt. He's going to have to eat that half second, unfortunately. And behind him, much closer, is a Hovercraft watching all of this happen. That's the penalty served. Here comes Hovercraft for the pass. And that is that for Matt Campbell. So he's going to have to work his way back up to those 2 positions there, back up to 3rd if he wants it.
I'm okay with that. I think Campbell's got good pace. He's shown good pace all race. I don't think that penalty will be fatal to his outcome today.
I don't think so either.
Only
he
6
fall
tenths
off
of drip.
Slipstream. Right, exactly. He's still on the back of these 2. He's clearly showed pace. That was actually a really good sequence of events there. Nice racing for these 3. Just unfortunate for Matt Campbell that in the undercut attempt he did pick up a half second there. He's kind of lost a bit of time to Hovercraft. 1 second in arrears now. He's gonna have to figure it out in the next few corners in order to get closer to these guys. Of course, coming up to some spots where dirty air is an issue, though. You mentioned something about this track. You said it's very Herman Tilke-like, and it's funny that you say that because I remember when they added these tracks, I was like, this is like a Herman Tilke track, but like what it should be, right? Like decent elevation change, varied corners, because yeah, it feels like it would fit somewhere in modern F1, possibly. I don't know. The walls are a little close for a not city circuit, but maybe. But it flows really well.
Oh, Campbell off. Campbell wide. Huge save for Campbell.
But he's going to lose a ton of time having done that, but he did save it. Well done.
Enormous save for Matt Campbell there, working lap 28, about halfway through his lap, almost exactly.
That's right.
Wow, I thought we were about to see another DNF right there.
I thought so too. Hovercraft making a move on Ghost 45 in the same place that we saw J-Rod and a couple others make a pass. Ghost 45 able to get back to him though, and he's going to be side by side and have the inside onto the bridge. Ghost 45 not giving that position up, even with Hovercraft trying to squeeze him out there, and he's going to get it right back. Well defended by Ghost 45, well chased. This battle helping Matt Campbell out though after losing all that time. He's now just 1.8 seconds behind these 2, and I'm sure he hopes they swap positions a couple more times so he can gain some precious tenths back.
Absolutely. Campbell deep into that corner. Campbell overdriving now potentially, or potentially maybe struggling with his tires. You know, different compound, different stage of the race, stage of his stint. This is different than the previous compound he ran earlier in the race. So it is a tale of adapting to the car as it evolves.
That's right. He did go really deep into that corner though and lost almost 6/10 because of it. So even more work here for him to catch it. And he's got to calm down. It can be really hard to calm your mind when you've made a mistake, especially, you know, you had the adrenaline of being in a battle to begin with, messed up, lost some time. Now he's messed up again, and you have to be able to like find it and to get back to that center place where you're running good laps. He's also going to need to keep in mind, like, if he's been killing those soft tires, they're hot, they're greasy, he's going to have to brake sooner than he thinks to avoid overcooking it in the corners, or he's just going to keep losing time to these two cars who are clearly battling in front of him. He should not be losing time to them. Ghost 45 back into third place, and it looks authoritative. For a second there, I thought Hovercraft was going to get right back on him and go for another move again, but Ghost keeping him at bay so far. This battle for third is nice to see. Let's see how close Skywalker is to Little Mac. It's a little closer. Less than 12 seconds now. I can't say what I want to say, so I'm not going to say it, but there are things to be said. What are we, an hour and 30 minutes left? So literally 30 minutes left in the race. Just 1/4 of the race left here, and we're seeing battles for third. Do we see any other battles? I think we had something going on back here. Yes, it was Grauman versus Assassin, but that broke up a while ago and has stayed broken up when Assassin picked up a huge penalty, I believe. Jay and Green, RWB Green, still in 11th place. Now finally has made his way up to Jay. It's 1.1 seconds now. J-Rod, 20 seconds in arrears. We did have a Mobile Edge in between these two cars, but unfortunately Mobile Edge has DNF'd. Behind J-Rod by 45 seconds is Ricardus, who seems to just be moving slowly there. I don't know if is he paused? Doesn't seem to be. I think just slow out of that corner for whatever reason. Oh, it was a chicane. Okay, that makes sense. Well, Paul, the race has evolved. We really only have one on-track battle going, potentially between 3 cars, but really right now it's between 2 cars and 1 car that has to find his center again. He has picked up time on Ghost again, because it looks like we did see a change in position. Hovercraft in third place over Ghost now.
Yeah, and Matt Campbell is drawing it back. You know, that car is quick. It's been quick all day today. I do think he will be part of this conversation here for third, fourth, and fifth soon enough. He is clawing it back, putting in good sector times.
I think so too. How far are these guys from Skywalker? 13.6 seconds from Skywalker. I do want to see if they start to rein him in. He's got maybe with that happening. That was lucky though. Yeah. He actually kept it online somehow.
Yeah, drift points there. I didn't know. We quickly joined Midnight Club, Project Gotham real fast, but now we're back to Gran Turismo 7.
Apparently we have, and as far as drifting goes, it probably doesn't get better than that one did in a GT3 car. It's not like you have much steering angle there, but well held by Skywalker. But stuff like that, little mistakes like that are only going to take him further away from his goal of catching Little Mac ahead, and closer into the clutches of Hovercraft and Ghost and Matt Campbell, who probably really want second place. They gotta stop fighting first. They have a chance, you know, but sometimes you just go for the position that's ahead, like that's right in front of you, right? You're just like, let me go with what's in front of me.
Indeed. This battle here for third, fourth, and fifth is really, really tightening up. This could be getting even more interesting as we get into this final part of the race, working lap 30. Less than 30 minutes to go now. So this is that kind of bewitching hour in endurance racing. What's going to happen? What's going to surprise us? Rarely does endurance racing give you a boring final 30 minutes. Not that I can recall.
That's right. There's usually something happening, some Hail Mary or a battle that is finally coming to a head. Or, you know, someone who has just been quietly coming and no one realized that they were coming, and all of a sudden you're like, this person is battling for fourth, you know, stuff like that. It always happens. In fact, I wish Flash was in this race. That's usually Flash's role. He's not in this lobby this week, maybe in lobby 1 or something this week, I'm not sure, but Flash is that racer, Paul. He'll just like, you don't talk about him all race long. You mention him just to say, and Flash in 9th, and blah blah blah, and then you move on, right? And the next thing you know, you're like, and Flash in 1st, because he just has these quiet races. If he gets into battles, they're not long, they're not drawn out, no huge issues like what J49 just had, going out way wide behind green there. A little run in the grass, picked up no damage, lucky not to hit the wall. But RWB Green up in the 10th place now.
Absolutely. And, you know, as we get to this final stage, this later part of the race, tires are being worn for everybody. And most people are on those softer tires. Are they getting too hot? Are they really becoming problematic? Trying to lean on that tire. It gets harder to drive. While the fuel is running down, so is the grip.
That's right. And, you know, again, like we mentioned, this car very, very heavy on those left tires. So those are the tires that you need the most for a lot of these fast sweepers. Like there's a long long right hand sweeper where you're leaning on those lefts for a long time just before you end the lap. Turn 1 is longer than you think. It's 90 degrees, yes, but it's so wide it actually turns out to be almost a sweeper in its own right. You've just got a lot of places that you want to be fast where you're going to be slowed down because those tires are so worn.
One thing to call attention to here, just a quick nod to the driver, RW Green, remarkably consistent, cracking off 306s over and over and over again. That is the mark of a good driver.
That's right.
Consistent work, synced up with the car, really, really doing well here as we come towards now just 25 minutes left in our race today, working lap 30.
That's right. If you can hit that same lap over and over and over again, you're doing something right, you know, regardless of how fast you are pace-wise altogether. But yeah, if you can just do it again and again and again, then you've won half the battle.
I couldn't agree more with my professional work. I always tell anybody, any race car, anyone that's a fan of motorsport or learning to understand it better, aside of how fast the cars go, how good they sound, when it comes to the athleticism of the drivers, for me, always the most impressive thing is how they are just so monotonously consistent, just hours at a time behind the car and cracking off laps within half a second, 0.3 of a second of each other, just over and over again. It's remarkable.
That's right. And consider that tire and fuel wear are on, and dynamic time for the track, not dynamic weather so much, but the time. And so, you know, there are variables that are shifting around you. The car is changing, how the car drives, how much grip you have changes. And so yeah, being able to crack off that same lap time, or at least consistent lap times, is just incredible. It takes a lot of concentration, a lot of seat time, a lot of practice. That's Ghost. That is Ghost, who was formerly in 3rd place, who just hit the wall and now is in 5th place in front of Let It Rip. But was that, maybe they didn't hit the wall. I don't see any damage on the car, but they were completely stopped.
Damage. Correct. Let's go. Yep. So let's go here. So Matt Campbell still running 4th place here. Only less than 5 seconds from our 3rd place hovercraft. Yellow flag on the track.
Who is that? That is yellow for Skywalker.
Yes, hovercraft into 2nd place, hunting down Little Mac now. Skywalker with an issue. Yellow flag cleared, green flag around the track again. Matt Campbell now only less than 2 seconds behind Skywalker. A lot kicking off right now. Ghost with an issue, Skywalker with an issue, and position changes at the front of the race for hovercraft and Matt Campbell.
That's right. Tough luck for Matt Campbell that he didn't catch Skywalker in a more technical part of the track. Dirty tires certainly would have allowed him to catch Skywalker up a little bit quicker there. Unfortunately, catches him right when Skywalker just has nothing but straights to clear the dirt off of those tires. So Matt Campbell will still get about 1.2 seconds away from the 1.1, but I think it could have been better if he'd done that in like sector 2 or something. Skywalker still with some wiggles here, still trying to keep it together. So as we say that, Matt Campbell knocks it down to about half a second. So Skywalker definitely under pressure here, under pressure from his own mental state, and now Matt Campbell behind him, who doesn't want to lose hovercraft. Another yellow flag. Who's this for?
Yes, someone's turned around right up front here. If I'm reading the...
Who is that? That's Ricardus. That is Ricardus.
It is.
Yeah, okay.
With a penalty off track potentially, he's rejoined. Green flag again.
He's going to be getting blue flags. There's Skywalker getting around him, and Matt Campbell as well, but Ricardus is traffic. I think Ricardus might have had something to do with Matt Campbell getting this pass. I don't think Skywalker expected.
What were we just saying? Never a dull moment in the final 30 minutes of an endurance race. That remains the same.
Never.
20 minutes left, working lap 32. Little Mac, our essentially dominant race driver of the day so far, ran a soft strategy early in the race, built an enormous Lewis Hamilton-style lead, came in for the mediums, as is regulation, and again, cycled to the front of the pack as pit stops played out, and a comfortable 20-second lead over our second-place hovercraft, who just moved into that position from an issue with Skywalker, who's now dropped to 4th. Matt Campbell now up to 3rd place. Tatiana earlier tonight saying that she thought Matt Campbell would have a good opportunity to race in and be part of the conversation. 20 minutes to go, and Campbell is becoming part of the conversation. I said to clip that moment for Toddy reading the 8 ball, and it seems to be pretty spot on.
Almost. I think the results are similar, but I got a couple of things wrong. I thought the issue would be that Skywalker would run out of gas. He actually was chasing Little Mac down. It wasn't a very fast chase down, but I think it would have accelerated or not accelerated. I think it would have just slowed down even more anyway at this point in the stint, since he was on the softs. But Little Mac, very lucky to pick up a huge amount of breathing room, more than he already had because of Skywalker's off there. Hovercraft, I don't know that he can overcome 19.8 seconds in 19 minutes. That's a second a lap that he's got to pick up on Little Mac on softs that are wearing out. I think Little Mac might have done it. I think he might have done it. Matt Campbell, I'd like to see in the conversation for first place, but I actually don't think it's going to happen. I think everyone on the softs has missed the window to catch Little Mac on those mediums.
Catching is one thing, but mistakes still do happen. We could see an issue, lose the rear end, drive deep into a corner. Here, Matt Campbell. Oh, never mind. Excuse me. That was commentator running away from himself there. Camera psyching me out. I thought Matt Campbell was going wide, but of course he remains on track in his beautiful Audi R8.
He's just fine, doing just fine. That happens to me all the time as well. I do want to point out, somebody should clip what Paul just said, because commentator's curse happens. Ooh, Skywalker almost loses the rear end again on that Audi. I think in the braking, it's probably weird in that mid-engine car there, but just a little bit of oversteer on the braking, and manages to catch it, but Skywalker having trouble keeping that car together. Matt Campbell not only got ahead of him, but is now 4.7 seconds ahead of him. It's falling apart for Skywalker, and he's not able to come back to himself.
Unfortunate, but look, I mean, we are deep into this stint. Those soft tires are over it. So trying to control those now while chasing down the dominant driver of the day, Little Mac, and trying to cope with Matt Campbell and hovercraft, it is hard. This is difficult. That's why we got some of the best drivers in the game right now driving here.
That's right. Now, I mean, we're seeing drivers who are doing great have lapses in concentration, like Skywalker, like Ghost 45 here. Imagine what it's like in real life, where the car is hot and you've been feeling the G-forces and you don't have enough sleep because the travel schedule has been grueling, and just you have to pee, like you're in the car and there's nothing you can do if you have a big mistake and there's no one except you in that car with you to try to like get over the fact that some of this sucks, right? And that you need to keep it together to make it to the end. We're seeing people have trouble doing that in the comfort of their own living room. Imagine what it's like to really be in a race car.
Truly wild. Savage.
Absolutely.
RW Green, earlier part of the race, a conversation piece, now fading back, 9th place. Sorry to see that.
Very. I think a combination of things. I mean, there was that penalty, yes, but it was only a 3-second penalty. I think Green also massively overfueled in the pit window. I mean, I will show you guys everyone's fuel situation towards the end of the stint. But as I recall, when I went through the rundown, I called out how much fuel was in his car, and every liter's worth a second. So if you massively overfuel, you're going to lose a lot of time. And on top of that 3-second penalty he already had to take. And those 3-second penalties aren't just 3 seconds, are they? Right? Like the game slows you down for 3 seconds, but what you end up losing is closer to 5 or 6.
And that's just time lost in the space-time continuum. Then there's all the time you lose from being frustrated, from being distracted, thrown off your rhythm. That also adds up time. Rarely is the penalty just the penalty. RW Green now working through the end of the lap, working towards completing lap 33.
You know what we haven't done, and maybe we'll do it with Green because we don't have anything going on. We haven't gone on board with anyone for a lap. We don't have corner names, so we probably and I don't have this track memorized. Normally I go through and say, and this is what you would do, and you brake hard for this and that. We're just gonna stay on board with him for the lap. He's coming up to the last corner now. It is a 3-minute lap. Paul, we won't do a whole lot of talking, but we can. But here we are starting the lap now. Just turn the last corner. That is pit lane to the right. He's gonna cross the start finish line right here. And here we are on board for lap 34 with RWB Green. Nice and smooth through turn 1, very patient through there. Glad we picked a good person to go on board with. Green doing great, hitting every apex, using as much of the track as possible, putting on a clinic on how to lap around this place. Speed and pace certainly was never an issue with him. Oh, small mistake there coming out of that corner there. So a little bit of a curse on my end, my bad. But other than that, he's been doing fantastically. Like I said, pace, or like I started saying, pace was never the issue for him around here. Just some bad luck around pit stops. Double apex right-hander here. Pretty difficult corner to get right. I can tell you, I never get it right. Then one of many short straights, short being relative on this track. Of course, the straight isn't short at all, but it looks short on the map because it's such a long lap. We're about halfway through the lap now. Little over halfway. Ooh, half-second penalty picked up by Green there. Made too much of a cut. So almost a perfect lap, but not quite. And now he's just got to live with it. Probably sick of picking up penalties, I can imagine. Now onto the bridge. This bridge features in this layout, and I think the St. Croix B layout. It features on one of the other St. Croix layouts. There are 3 layouts of this track. Each of them very fun for their own reasons. This is the longest one though. It takes a lot of memorizing. Green slow and steady and patient through that chicane after the bridge. It's the way to do it. He's looking really, really good. He will have to take that half-second penalty. Here's that long right-hand sweeper towards the end of the lap that I was talking about. This is what's been chewing up everyone's tires. And you can see he's going to be forced to decelerate at the penalty line coming up here in front of the last corner. There he goes, slow down for half a second, back on the gas towards that last turn. Just a 90-degree right, very wide, but you can carry a lot of speed through it, and people try their best, but that wall is very close on the left-hand side. Green goes through it perfectly, and that is the lap around St. Croix layout. This is either layout A or C. Which layout is this, Paul?
Toddy, welcome to the race. It's nice to have you on board with us today. It is St. Croix variant A as an apple. 11 minutes now working the race here. Ooh, a spin.
Spin for Ricardus.
Ricardus for a spin. Blue flag.
I thought that might have been someone in the lead or something. Nope, Little Mac still relaxed. He doesn't even have to go fast anymore. At this point, just bring it home. Just bring it home. 11 minutes. Just keep it chill. Although sometimes that messes you up too. You ever been running away with a race? You're like, all right, let me chill, and that's what messed you up and made you spin.
Of course, most famously told in, God, what Grand Prix was that when LM Cross pressured Ayrton Senna for lap after lap, and then Ayrton finally eased off and crashed almost immediately, and later blamed it on easing up and slowing down? Always the bewitching hour to slow down.
It happens. It happens. You know, you slow down, you take a corner, and you know, you don't expect the car to turn in as well because you've been going faster, and now you've eaten way too much curb and you're being spit out on the outside of that turn. It's you know, typical, right? And it's hard to remember when you decide, all right, let me slow my pace down, that everything slows down. You have to turn in later. You know.
Adi, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick here. Matt Campbell to second place. Did we miss a pass on track from Hovercraft?
Did Hovercraft
that is
lap
unfortunate
33 with a 3:15.1, so something horrible happened to Hovercraft 2 laps ago.
Interesting. Well, you've called it. Matt Campbell again pushing towards the front of the race. Such a performance from the Incredibles Audi R8. That's what I'm going to call it. The Pixar Incredibles Audi R8 of Matt Campbell 912, now second place, working lap 36, only 22 seconds off the lead. He's had an eventful race. To only be 22 seconds off the leader is impressive.
Incredibles R8. I'm sorry, I'm crying. It's so funny. Oh, you're so right.
I mean, I'm not going to call it the Elastigirl Audi R8, but we'll call it the Disney Pixar's Audi R8.
I would call it the Elastigirl's R8. You see them hips? She thick in the back, okay? The Audi R8 is thick in the back.
And back to the race coverage.
Hovercraft. I'm sorry, was there a race? I apologize. I apologize. Hovercraft isn't out of this, by the way. He can still make something happen. You know what? I'm going to take the banner off in a second, but keep in mind, he's less than 2 seconds away from Matt Campbell. We have seen everyone have a moment on this track, and we've seen it's a fast track. Moments cost, because you maybe slip up in one corner, but the guy behind you is going 130 miles an hour because it's a quick track. And so actually, Hovercraft is closing in on Matt. It's 1.3 seconds now is that gap.
It is. We do have a race here.
Oh, what is Matt's gas doing? And what is Hovercraft's gas doing?
I'm sure there's an Etna Modes joke in here somewhere, but we'll leave it alone. Back to the on-track action. Matt Campbell and Hovercraft chasing each other now. Down to just over a second. Tires barely hanging on. Fuel at the absolute limit. This is as good as it gets for endurance racing. 8 minutes. No, not even. Just 7 minutes to go now. Working lap 36.
That's right. Matt Campbell with much less fuel than Hovercraft. He's got to save and defend. He's going to have to find a way to do it or decide, hey, maybe it's not worth fighting because Ghost isn't that far back. And if we get into it with one another, Ghost could take a position. Maybe I settle for fourth. I'm out of fuel anyway, or settle for third. I'm low on fuel anyway. We'll see how Matt Campbell plays this out. Ghost 45 is not too far behind these guys. He's got a little more tire on him, so what if they do fight? Does Ghost suddenly pick up 7 seconds? That's a lot, but you never know. You never know. Skywalker.
I don't know, Toddy. 6.5 minutes to go. Red mist. I don't see anyone just parking it or easing off. I say you race till you catch or pass, or you run out of gas.
Agreed. Here is Skywalker, as expected. Yeah, running a little low on fuel, short shifting that Audi R8, trying to make it to the end. He's got damage on it as well.
And his left tire is completely toast. Left rear is struggling now with your graphic showing tire progress. We can talk more specifically now. Absolutely. If we go back up to second place, Toddy, with Matt Campbell and Hovercraft, we're down to just 7/10 of a second now, Matt Campbell and Hovercraft.
We're going to stay right here. Here. And, oops, I did not mean to do that. Everyone, please forgive me. We're just going to watch Hovercraft chase us down from the back. Rear-facing camera, a little less resolution than the front-facing camera, as you can see. I don't know if that's real, but it feels like it's less quality, doesn't it?
I do think it's worth mentioning that Acura factory race car drivers Jordan Taylor and Louis Delatrat are listening to our broadcast right now. Hello to Louis and Jordan.
Hey, Louis.
Louis waiting for his 5-minute new follower ban to elapse so he can comment in our chat, but they are on the YouTube channel watching along. Hello to Louis and Jordan.
Hello, and you know what? My fault. I haven't even checked. Oh, wait, I'm going to stop. I was going to check comments, but this is a bad angle. Let's change this so we can see what's happening right now. Side by side. Yeah, Hovercraft starting to make his move now. He wants in, and Matt Campbell has to defend. Can he? Paul, can he?
This is going to be close. Hovercraft coming out now. Oh, this is so close. Now less than 5 minutes of the race to go. Fuel light is now on for Campbell. How does Hovercraft's fuel look? Is his light pinging him as well, Toddy? Yeah, fuel light's on for both cars. Less than nearly, call it for all intents and purposes, 4 minutes to go in the race, working lap 37. This is incredibly close.
Wow, back and forth between these two. As they get on
the bridge. Huge slide for Hovercraft, but he holds it.
He holds it. I think Matt Campbell has to give this up. I think because, I mean, look at Matt's fuel. He can sit out and he can pressure for sure. Because Hovercraft can still make a mistake. He's right there. But like, can Matt go hard and fight for this? I think they both are. Oh, that scared me. I thought we just almost watched Matt Campbell eat the wall. Oh my gosh, that shut me right up, didn't it?
It takes a lot to do that, Toddy. No, I'm kidding. 3 minutes to go now.
Yeah, I think Matt Campbell's backing off. Look at the time. It's seesawing, but I think overall Matt Campbell is backing off of Hovercraft. Ooh,
yes, it is
not far away, but he's got a penalty.
It is worth mentioning we are in a championship. This is not. So Campbell, is he considering championship points and settling for third with, second place so close? Now, obviously, Hovercraft not considering first place with RWB well up the road. But I don't know. Matt Campbell's been on it. That Disney Pixar Incredibles Audi R8 has shown amazing pace throughout the day.
It absolutely has. Listen,
apologies for copyright infringement.
Got the moves. Yeah. Definitely got the moves. I want this battle to continue. It's a 2.5 seconds now. Matt Campbell, another slide. I think on throttle, Matt Campbell might be having trouble with that left rear rather looking bad on his car like it has been for others as well. Hovercraft doing a little bit better, but I think Matt might be having trouble keeping that car up under him on top of being a little low on fuel, being a lot low on fuel. We still have 2 minutes left in the race, which is at least another lap after this, I think. Possibly.
Lap times are going up for both cars. Now Matt Campbell earlier working 3:06.2, now on a 3:09.8. So obviously losing pace of course, from the worn tires, and maybe, like you said, just kind of calling it a day, accepting where he is for the finish, and settling for third place. You know, managing the gap to Ghost, but still staying within shouting distance of a potential mistake for Hovercraft. Second place.
That's
now
right.
only 2 seconds.
That's right. And I don't know that either driver wants to have to go another lap. Hovercraft might be able to do it on his fuel. I don't think Matt can do it. It's a very long lap around here. Little Mac is just a few corners away from finishing this lap, but he'll have over a minute left from this point, so he might end up taking another lap, a lap 39. But I think Hovercraft and Matt Campbell are going to cross the line after the 3 minute mark, or the 2 hour mark.
Understood. Gosh, what a fantastic end of the race. You know, again, endurance racing never, ever disappoints.
Never. I do want to run down real quick and make sure we don't have a fight for like 12th going on that we're missing right now. But yes, I obviously don't want to miss the finish or anything like that. So far, everybody in no man's land. Green in 9th, J-Rod up to 10th place. Oh, he's got a J right behind him. Not quite a battle, I would call it, so I'm going to leave that alone. Assassin down to 12th. We don't even know how that happened. It happened 2 laps ago. We had a 3:24 on lap 36, a 3:13 after it, so still hadn't really recovered on lap 37. So Assassin with a huge issue that puts him down to 12th place. He has not had an easy race. And these are our 2 DNFs, of course. So Little Mac crosses the line. He's going to start lap 39 now. He's got just over 1 minute left in the race. Hovercraft. Hovercraft. Yeah, Hovercraft will take the checker flag. Here, we've passed the 2 hour mark. And he should cross the line taking the checker. Let's see. Yep. Checker flag for Hover. That is a guaranteed 2nd place. Matt in 3rd. Ghost 45 is going to take 4th. Weaving back and forth as he almost caught up to those 2 cars there. I think if he hadn't taken that penalty, he had a real chance. Ghost 45 did. Let it rip. He's got 2 more corners here. He's going to take 5th place. No one to challenge from behind Skywalker, who had been running in 2nd place, as who's behind him. And by a lot, too. 17.2 seconds behind Let It Rip for Skywalker. Lewis says, big fights. Hopefully no one breaks their ankle. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. That's Leo and Skywalker.
Fantastic finish to the race. Matt Campbell and Hovercraft giving us, and Ghost as well. Of course, everyone gave us good drives today, but those 3 have really provided some good entertainment throughout the day. Assassin
maybe to try and take 6th place here. Hold on, Leo trying to get a run. He's not going to get it. Skywalker is going to keep 6th place. Yeah, just a little drag race to the line for 6th there. Skywalker going to keep it. Grommen going to take 8th place. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. That was just like, that was a moment.
No worries. Race coming to an end. Fantastic, faultless drive from our leader here. But now we got RW Green off the track.
What is this?
Huge damage. Not sure what happened to RW Green, who we were just riding on board with less than 10 minutes ago.
He's not moving.
The car's live. Yep, you can hear him revving the engine.
I wonder if something disconnected.
And he's trying to turn the car. Yeah, do we have a DC in the lobby potentially?
I'm not sure. I just want to make sure we catch Little Mac.
Oh, that would be absolutely criminal. Did he finish the race? Did RW Green take the checker?
He hasn't yet. Nope. Assassin now passed.
Oh,
passed. Assassin passed. RWB Green now in 12th. I don't see any throttle inputs. I do see he's turning the wheel, but no throttle inputs at all coming off of that car.
This is after 2 hours and 2 minutes of driving, 38 laps. That is unbelievably poor luck for RW Green.
Criminal. Here is
for RWB Green.
Had to his teammate Little Mac, however, in 1st place, has to go another lap around, and he's going to cross the checker flag in just a moment. This is the last corner here. Want to make sure we catch Little Mac.
It's worth mentioning here, Toddy. It's worth mentioning. Look at his tires.
Oh, they look great. Because he's on the mediums, right?
Unbelievably effective tire management.
So Green finally on the move again. What was
Wonderful. I am actually clapping my hands. Good work for RWB Green. Happy to see that.
What just happened? Matt Campbell, good race. Congratulations, Matt, on that. Ooh, that was really weird. Well, Paul, you tell me what you want to do. I can try to figure out how to get the drivers into our chat if you want to be here for the interviews.
Yep, I can do the interviews, no problem. Let me know what you guys need. It's been a pleasure being along for the ride today.
Aha, perfect. All right, let me do this then. I am, for our viewers, I'm going to put you guys on a little hold, play a little commercial for you, our GT Champions commercial, and then we'll be back, and hopefully I can get these guys into this room so we can interview them.
Wonderful.
Hello, everyone. We are back. I am going to jump into a room with our 3 podium winners. However, I have to say goodbye to Paul. Paul won't be able to join us for the interviews. Paul, thank you so much for doing this commentary with me. I absolutely will invite you back. Somebody said he's obsessed while we were muted. Viewers, thank you. Say thank you to Paul. Paul, have a good night.
Thank you so much, Tatiana. Yeah, a fabulous race. A huge congrats to our finishers, to our winner, of course, RWB, faultless drive. Yeah, we're not set up for me to do the interviews today, but I would love to come back. Thanks so much for the invitation today. And have a good rest of your evening, everybody. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
See ya. Hey, guys. How you doing? Hey guys, how you doing? Hello, can you hear me okay?
Hello. Kind of. It's a bit quiet.
Kind of, it's a bit quiet. Okay, I will try to speak up.
Yeah.
I'm in the interview room with our 3 podium winners, everyone. We're already live, by the way. So we're on with Little Mac, our winner, Matt Campbell in second place, and Hovercraft in third. Hovercraft, we'll start with you. Man, you had a fantastic race. I don't know, where did you start this race?
I started second and I finished second. Or no, I started third. I finished second.
Started
I
third,
just
finished
one
second.
gain
Okay.
just one gain in the position, but yeah, ultimately, unfortunately, early in the race, I crashed right at the beginning of the bridge, and that caused me to lose like 30 seconds. But
Got it.
afterwards, I was able to climb my way back up to second, and I spun again, lost one position, regained it. But yeah, this race was up and down, up and down. That first crash, it hurt considering I lost a 10-second lead from third, and then another 20 seconds in the pit. But
Wow,
okay,
I didn't
recovery,
remember
all
that you
things
had crashed.
considered.
But
I'm
yeah, you had a great
transitioning to the
recovery.
wheel. Yeah, I mean, I'm transitioning to the wheel right now, so I'm not at full pace like I normally am, but an alright race, I gotta say.
You did have a great race. Thank you. And you know, just lost the position to Matt Campbell sort of at the last minute. I don't think we saw that pass. What happened? Did you have a penalty or get off track or something?
Oh, I finished second.
Oh, you finished second. Why did I think
Campbell
Matt
did.
finished second?
Yeah, he was still ahead
Campbell
of me.
did. Campbell did pass me when I spun onto the grass, but I didn't get any damage from that, so I recovered from there. But no, that's it
Nice.
really.
My fault. My fault. Then you know what? I should have spoke to Matt first, but I appreciate you, Hovercraft. Congratulations on second place. Matt. So you started in second and finished third. Yes?
Yes. Both starts, I thought maybe I can try to attack the leader, and that didn't work. I got close, but I couldn't get it done. So I had to try to settle in, and we went from there.
You settled in pretty well. I know that you had to fight your way up a bit. How far down did you fall down the order?
Oh, yeah. I think second lap, I think I got to 5th or 6th. I just started letting people by because I didn't want to hold people up too badly, and I also just didn't want to wreck in front of them or try too hard. I thought that I would get them back later. Seems like I did.
Yeah, for the most part, it worked out. Congratulations on getting back on the podium and getting that figured out. You gave us a very, very entertaining last 30 minutes or so of the race. We appreciate you for sure.
Thank you. Yeah.
Of course. Little Mac, now once again, dominating. I mean, last race you didn't win because you had a huge penalty to overcome. But this race, I mean, were you outside of the pit window? I don't think you were ever outside of first, yeah?
No, just after the pit. But when the pit window ended, then I was in first again.
Yeah, right back in it. You started on those softs, which normally we don't see that strategy works out, right? People get on the softs, they try to run away, and then they end up finishing somewhere, maybe third or fourth anyway, or something like that, because they get ran down. But I guess you just knew something nobody else did, because you managed to make it work.
Yeah, I saved a lot of fuel too when I was on soft, so that gave me another 20 seconds on top of the 20 I had. I think I had 25 already.
You did. You saved a bunch of fuel over, oh my gosh, who was it? Skywalker.
I saved a lot.
Well, well done. Congratulations for the win. Do you know where you sit in the championship? As of last race, not this one.
I think I was 9th or 10th.
Okay, so great points these last couple of races for you, huh?
Yeah, hopefully I can make it back in the second lobby. My fast lap, I messed it up 2 laps in a row. It's like, my God.
Back into the first lobby, you mean? Yeah.
No, trying to get my fast lap done. I do that on lap 7 or 8. And I'm both of them up. Same corner.
Man, okay, got it. So you're hoping you get back into this lobby next time around. I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
I hope you can too. Regardless, we'd love to have you again in Lobby 2, but thank you so much for all the good racing that you put on. You usually put on a clinic in here, and this was absolutely no different. Shout out to also, he's not in the room, but Skywalker, who started in 14th, ran in second place behind you for a long time, and ended up taking, I think, 5th or 6th place for Skywalker. So that was an awesome run for him as well.
I don't know where he came from. Just all of a sudden he was behind me, and I was like, "Where'd this dude come?" He was getting me. He was getting me, but his tires went. I knew that's what was happened. So.
It was quiet because I don't think I realized that he came from that far back. I had no idea. But yeah, great race for Skywalker as well until the very end there. But thank you to the three of you again. Great racing. We appreciate you. Hopefully we'll see all three of you back here next week, or maybe, you know, Matt Campbell, Hovercraft. I'm sure y'all want to be in Lobby 1, but we'll be happy to have you in Lobby 2 again.
Yeah, I think 4 or 5 of them beat me on fast lap in here. So that's
Nice.
not bad.
Not bad at all.
For some reason, I think Lobby 2 doesn't want me.
No?
But
We want
Well,
you.
I was really going for the laps when I was running it, especially when Mobile Edge turned his 3037. I was like, oh, I have to beat that. And then Hovercraft set his lap, and then I also almost binned it. I think I lost a few spots on that one right-hander with the gravel right off to the left of it.
I remember
like, I
seeing
just
that.
have to stop right here.
Yeah, it's a hard track to push at, right? It's so fast and it's so tempting, and then just one wrong move and you've lost a ton of time.
Yeah, I was running 303s all practice, and then I couldn't even get close to it. I think I ran a 045 or something. It was horrible.
Wow.
It was horrible in the second off.
Tough luck. Well, anyway,
That's
we'll
nothing
see.
on this track, though. It's a big track, though. Yeah.
It is a huge track. It's a huge track to stay consistent in corner after corner for sure.
With one leg, it's very hard. This is the most practice I've ever did for a race, ever.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you for your dedication.
Well, you won.
Yeah, mid-rear cars, man, they kill me.
All right, y'all. It's time I ended this broadcast. I want to do some racing on my own, so probably if y'all stay online, you probably catch me online. If you're not my friend, friend me on PSN because I'm about to jump into some lobbies. See you guys.
Later.
All right, everyone. Thank you again for watching. You know, always a good time here in Lobby 2 as usual. Thank you for the new viewers that we had. We appreciate you, Jordan Taylor and others coming in. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and I hope I get to do it with my friends some more. It was a great time. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Pull the calendar back up one more time so you all can see that the next round is going to be round 10 on the 9th of March in the Audi TT Cup at Goodwood. So we'll see you guys when that goes down. Everyone have a good night. Bye-bye.